Good day, night, evening, whatever time it may be, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Feature Fragment podcast, where we look at the. Oh, I forgot to do the joke.
Welcome to my podcast.
Yes, welcome to the Travelers podcast. I was gonna do a joke, saying that we were gonna be doing the Travelers podcast today, but I'm just stupid, guys. So yeah, I'm dumb. But yeah, welcome to the Feature Fragment podcast, where we look at bits, bobs, and blemishes of games, and we talk about everything and anything. So no holds barred. Everything is on the chopping block when we talk about games. Today we're talking about Guild Wars 2 with the new expansion that just dropped, the Janthir Wilds. But we're going to push that back a little bit because, as you guys can see, we are freaking packed today. So you guys know me, I'm Silabus. We're going to go around. We'll start with Kit.
Hi. I was also pinging people that were live. My bad.
It's all good. But yeah, Kit is the other main host of this show. So if you guys want to hear more from her as an introduction, go check some of the past episodes. She's amazing, absolutely fun to have her on a podcast at all times. So next we'll go to Jenny.
Okay, there we go. Hi, I'm HeroineDark, Jenny, Jeannie. Just don't call me late for dinner. I'm mostly known as HeroineDark around the internet. HeroineDark7734 on Twitch.
And if you guys are in the chat, I just posted a link to all of her socials. When we do upload this as a YouTube video, all the socials will be linked down below as well. And then next we have the power couple, Project Dad and Project Mom. So why don't you guys go ahead and say hello?
Perfect. Hi, yes, I'm Runer. One half of Project Dad, I guess. Project Dyad everywhere else. And then I also have Embry.
Yes, I'm Embry. I am the good half of Project Dyad.
Good half.
She's the
I got thrown
innocent.
so quickly here.
Oh, come on. You told me the Project Dad joke while we were in the green room, and I just had to use that. I'm terribly sorry.
It's okay. We also have our third. He's on the floor. Noctis, you want to say hi? There he is.
I don't know how well they're going to be able to see Noctis with how heavy
Oh,
cropped,
no,
but
he's covered. We have a
there-
monkey there.
there is a doggo down there. If you guys go to their channel, they do have channel points to give the dog a treat. I think you guys do.
Yeah, we do.
What
That's
the
why we
dog
put a
do?
donkey.
Yeah, that plays as well. If you guys just heard that, I think Jeannie just did that. But I do want to say first and foremost, guys, thank you all for taking the time out of your schedules to come and say hi. I know it's early for some of you, and others, it's a Saturday. You guys are probably wanting to get out of here and go do something fun. But thank you guys for coming and hanging out. No one?
Thank you for having us.
Yeah,
Do
thank
you think
you.
we do things on Saturdays besides this?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I don't usually touch grass.
Yeah, this is a normal Saturday for us.
You don't even see the sun on
my
Saturday.
left arm is a different color than my right arm from my job. I don't go anywhere on.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm inside curly. I'm good.
Like, where you get that?
It's really bold of you to assume any of us do anything
This
different.
is my inside girl era right now. I don't want to be outside.
I have been up since 7 a.m. my time, and I haven't even seen the sun yet. And it's 1 p.m. my time. It doesn't involve pomegranates. That's great. So, God, we're gonna be talking about Guild Wars 2. But I do want to start off with this because I do want to go over the entirety of everyone's involvement with Guild Wars. And we'll start with Jeannie first. What got you into Guild Wars or Guild Wars 2? Did you start with one or the other? What you got for us?
So circa 2005, 2006, I was building my first computer in high school, and when I got done with it, I remember it. I was walking around my local Target, and I saw Guild Wars Game of the Year edition. It was like $20. I was like, "Oh, this looks cool." And I have played Guild Wars 1 ever since, and I was in the beta for Guild Wars 2, and I have 10,000 hours on this account.
Oh, those are rookie numbers.
I know. I just started playing.
Bruder, what about you?
Mine's very similar. I basically, well, I grew up kind of in the middle of nowhere, so we didn't have the greatest internet, so I couldn't play super highly demanding online games. And we bought Guild Wars 1, which worked out well because it's all instance-based, and you can kind of play on your own. And then, yeah, so I played that since, I guess, launch of Guild Wars 1. And then when Guild Wars 2 was announced, I pre-ordered all of that, and I became a beta tester there. And then I took probably I want to say 6 to 8 year hiatus because I didn't have a computer, and then came back and I brought him with me when I came back, and we've kind of just been playing ever since then.
Nice. Embry, what about you?
Yeah, basically, I grew up with watching my dad always play video games, and I was really invested in it. My first video game, like MMO, was Final Fantasy 14. So it took me a while to actually get into Guild Wars. Werner tried convincing me for years. By about almost 4 years ago now, he showed me his female elementalist, and I thought she was so pretty, and I wanted to play. So since then, I've been very addicted.
Okay,
It's the
okay.
light armor guy. Use the light armor. He loves it.
Like, did it have the flower in the hair?
It did, yeah.
It actually.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
you dirty human meta player.
You have to remember that that character was during vanilla. There wasn't as much choices.
You dirty human meta player.
Yeah, I was. That was back when human females had idle animations.
Yep, those are gone.
Yeah, look at me. Human female.
Kit, what about you? You want to? I know you've done a ton, so share what you're comfortable with.
I played Guild Wars original back when I was basically 18, when I was pre. Ran around, did the Guild Wars life until Guild Wars 2 was dropped and announced. Then went over to Guild Wars 2 when it was the beta thing. Then played that. Enjoyed live, enjoyed the game, and did things in the community and did things outside of the community. Then also, I guess if I want to put employment, I did some QA for them as well. That is all. Thank you. I don't have to talk about my life because I'm a dinosaur in this game.
God, aren't we both? Well, hearing everybody else, like, aren't we all? I mean, it sounds like, say for Embry, we're all like old school Guild Wars one hands that ran around facing Abaddon, Malix. Yeah, some of us who got lucky facing Canaxi properly.
They're going to be making gasoline out of us soon.
Yeah, right.
I'm excited that they are bringing Race back, but I will say playing Guild Wars 1 again just to like redo, because I'm like a few where like I used an old email that I can no longer get access to, so they won't give me my fucking account to connect. So it's fine, I get it, rules, regulations, all the good stuff. So I'm starting over to like get it all done, but it's just like, man, there were so many paths in those dungeons. I wish they would just like add some extras on the dungeons that we currently have. Like, just bring them back, please. That's all I ask. Cause there's so much stuff.
Well, here's
Or
the hope.
not bring Underworld and FOW back. Okay, bye.
Well, here's the hoping with the new raid coming out in Janthir Wilds. I think in an update or two, hopefully we may see at least one new dungeon pop up here and there.
Yeah, I hope. But if it's for now just a raise, I'm content that they're at least starting back those. So that I guess it's a start.
Yeah. What do you guys think about the new raids and dungeons and the roadmap?
I don't think we're going to get new dungeons per se, but we'll get new fractals.
Oh, those
No.
are guaranteed.
I'm sick of fractals. That doesn't count for me.
I like fractals. But I'd like to bring back raiding too.
Yeah, I'm really excited for the new raid. I don't raid a lot, like I'm not like a genie here, but I do enjoy it, especially when you have your friends joining with you. I also really love fractals, so I am excited if they do one of those. I do like dungeons too. I don't expect them to have a new one, but if they did, I'd be really awesome.
They couldn't. The spaghetti code is too broken to go back, so it's fine.
Yeah.
That's why it's fractals. I don't care for fractals. I feel like that's a shortcut to like put everything in one box.
I think you just need to join us.
Yeah, you just need to do fractals with us.
We make it hectic.
Oh, this is great. That's great.
Oh god, yeah. Dungeons would be really nice. Those are like, I know we haven't had one since the launch of the game, but they are
We
still.
had the path come out in Living World Season 1.
Yeah, the change path for Briar and
Twilight Arbor.
yeah. But yeah, like I played through all the dungeons. I played through all the fractals before they did their update system with fractals, and I will say that dungeons are still one of my favorite aspects of this game, even though we really haven't had a new one in 10 years. Yeah, like my fondest memory of Guild Wars 2 in the early days was in the beta for Guild Wars 2 doing Ascalonian Catacombs on beta weekend 2 when everyone was hitting level 30 finally.
I think they need to update the rewards.
Yeah,
to
no,
a lot of this stuff.
rewards for a lot of it need to be upped, but
If you got DRM, and you guys still are complaining. Come on.
No.
DRMs are the worst instanced content.
I'm a
in
loot
the game.
goblin. I
Oh,
need gold.
group. You gotta go with a full group. If they're not with a full group, it's not super fun. But when you got a group of friends, it's pretty fun.
With a group of friends, I will still fall asleep 1.5 DRMs in.
I will say strike missions. Those were kind of fun. I enjoyed those.
They don't overstay their welcome, except for like some of the newer ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. And with the preview patch notes, whenever those drop, Bone Skinner's about to get a lot harder.
I'm excited for that. I actually want to try that one.
Maybe people will actually start doing the mechanic.
Oh, you
Yeah.
could have a sore subject for M. I don't know why you do that.
Hey,
Puzzles?
No, transference.
Yeah, transfusion. Yeah. Hey, I'm a necromancer too, and I'm sad that skill's getting reworked because I love that skill.
I do too. I'm so
I thought
excited.
it was a unique skill for necromancer. It was good for them to have something like that, but I get it.
Hey, Net doesn't let necros have anything fun.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like it's a weird thing for them to take away after so long.
Yeah. I really do get the feeling that the entire reason why they're changing transfusion is there's like a dev or two that played in World versus World and was getting tired of it. So they convinced enough people in the studio to go, yeah, fine, we'll change transfusion. We'll shut you up for 5 minutes, kind of thing.
The thing with transfusion is that we have precedents of them balancing skills for PvP, World v World, and PvE all separately. Why wouldn't they make that change in PvP and World v World only?
That's what I don't understand is why they don't make that change
Yeah,
there.
they're
Yeah,
pretty good at
pretty
separating
old.
content too. Yeah. I don't know why they didn't do that. That's kind of.
It'll be interesting to see what their justification is when they release the patch notes, because usually when they release the patch notes, they'll say, "Oh, hey, this has been too different. This has been like this for too long. We don't like it anymore, so we're going to change it for now." Or maybe it's we're changing it now because in the future we're planning contents around this, so we kind of want to challenge you guys by getting rid of it now with little to no explanation. So. It could be mechanics inside the new raid that might be coming out, but we'll see what it says from there.
Still sucks to lose it, okay?
I 100% agree. I mean, I kind of just started changing my entire build because I just removed transfusion. It's like, okay, fine, let's find something else that feels fun to play with in PvE.
I'm curious on Bone Skinner.
Yeah, since nobody in the community has ever done that strike in the proper way, you kind of rely on Scourges in there a lot.
I don't think Bone Skinner is going to change too much from what it is right now. The only thing Transfusion did was an easy pickup for people who didn't look for the circles. Other than that, they're still going to be pumping out shields like no tomorrow, so it's still going to get done the same way. It's just going to have less pickup.
Yeah,
it's going to require people to get good at the game.
yeah. I'm
Valid.
curious about.
I'm staying on the tag. Like, a lot of people don't move when they need to
You-
move.
Everyone has to do the cha-cha slide whenever you do bone skinner. Go to the left.
You mean right?
That's called NASCAR. We're gonna go real fast and real left.
Oh, jeez.
What's your first topic so we don't cause you to drive off too long?
No, I don't. We're having fun. I don't mind a little bit of drive off.
We're going to NASCAR right off a cliff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll be like
no.
3 hours.
Screw NASCAR. I'm down for rally racing. Let's go. I've seen those videos where those guys like literally like purposely drive off the side of a mountain. But yeah, let's so we talked about with like our history with Guild Wars 2. So far, save for Janthir Wilds, how has your expectations for the game kind of gone? Like from starting the game to playing through the story, how's the story kind of interacted with you guys? Thinking it was kind of good, and going from there. We'll start with Runer and Ambry this time.
Oh boy, Em, I'll let you go. You handle this.
Oh goodness.
She's the one who cried during the story.
Yeah.
A lot, so.
Oh, this will be good.
I definitely enjoyed the story with Soto. Like, it was okay. But with Janthir Wilds, I don't know, it really made me emotional, and like I really cared about the characters and what was going on. So I personally really enjoyed it, and I'm so excited for more. I also was really happy with the fact that it didn't feel so short. Like, I actually felt like it was a lot longer. I know a lot of people were very mad that there was a lot of talking, but like, that's something I really enjoy is story, and so I was okay with that.
Oh, are you on JW already?
Yeah, you gonna talk about the other expansions?
Yeah, I was asking before JW. We'll get into JW a little bit later.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there you go.
It's like core to Soto.
4, I did not have a good experience.
4 was awful for as a duo player because you can't play the story as a duo very well because it just crashes every 2 seconds.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So I missed a lot of the story there because we went in and we're like skip, get out of here, skip.
Ah.
Just because it crashed and then we'd have to do a 30-minute instance again just so we could get the story done.
Yeah, so I was I didn't enjoy core. It it made me angry. There were so many times where I just like was like, I just want to be done with this. Luckily once we were done core, I obviously didn't crash really anymore for story.
No, and so back then Living World Season 1 wasn't out when you
Yeah.
were playing that. They re-released that after. But
So I kind of went obviously straight into Living World Season 2. The one that was my favorite was I really enjoyed Ice Brood.
are we about to say spoilers?
Oh, you go for it. Like spoil away.
So I know she says Living World Season 3, but I know the exact moment when she started caring about the story was in Heart of Thorns when Air dies. And
Oh,
that's
the first like in that first 2 hours.
Yeah, I was in air stand too, trust me.
Yeah, that was the first time she cried at the story, and that's when I was like, oh, okay, she's enjoying the story now. Because like, poor, she didn't give a damn.
No.
We were just rushing through it. She's like, I don't care. And I was like, okay, that's fine. I was like, we should watch when we can. Like, we'll continue the story. And yeah, it was when Air died, and then I looked over and she was crying, and I was like, oh, okay, now she cares about the story.
Yeah, now I really, was getting into it. I do really enjoy a lot of, like I said, with Ice Brood, a lot of the areas that you got were so pretty. Like, Gruffmore, I think?
Yeah.
Yeah, Gruffmore. Loved that area. Like, when we first went into that area, I just couldn't get enough of how pretty it was.
I'm going to guess you also enjoy Ice Brood Saga because Air comes back as a ghost.
Yeah, I think, like, it's sad because so many people, like, hate that, and they hate Brom and, all that stuff, but, like, me and Runa always say, like, I think a lot of people don't realize that he was just a
In
kid.
his story, I'm pretty sure he's 16.
Yeah, when he lost his mom.
Exactly.
He's a child. Like, if people are like, man, he's making stupid decisions, he's being an ass. And it's like, well, yeah, he's a 16-year-old kid who just lost his mom. What do you want from the guy? like,
No. Yeah, and I completely agree with you. That's I like, as much as Bram was being an emo little shit for a while. That's one thing that I always gave him a pass. I was like, the dude just met up with his mom, was starting to get those familial connections, and all of a sudden she gets essentially crucified to a tree, and right in front of his eyes. It's like, give him a freaking break.
Yeah.
Again, he is still a child in that. I think when you hit Iceberg Saga, isn't he like 17 or 18 maybe?
I think it's about 18 or 19.
Like, yeah, he's gonna make stupid decisions. He's gonna be hot-headed. He's a Norn, for starters.
Yeah,
And,
his
like,
choice is to go join the Fire Dragon as their champion.
Mm-hmm.
Born of prophecy.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, I did core prior to playing with M because I did core when the game came out. Because again, I played launch, and so I liked the story more so than she did because I knew the story before she even played it, kind of thing, right? Like, I did all of that,
Yeah.
and so getting to skip it to me didn't really mean too much. But I was like, because like again, she just came off of Final Fantasy 14 and into Guild Wars 2, where Final Fantasy 14 is very story driven. Like, we barely skipped anything in the story. Like, we skipped some of, like, in between A Realm Reborn and Heaven's Ward. And so if she can't get into the story, it's like, oh, she's not going to have a connection. She doesn't care, right? Like, we'll play World of Warcraft, but she doesn't really care a ton about the game in that sense. But when she has story, you know.
Yeah, and I will completely agree with you that in between a Realm Reborn and Heaven's Word, because I've gotten all the way to the end of current FF14 as well. I need to re-up my subscription again. But even then, like halfway through that, I'm just sitting there like, will you people shut up so we can continue on with the expansions?
Yeah, and that's the thing is, like, if you don't care about the story, you're just like skip. And so yeah, it was Heart of Thorns where she started caring again, and then it was the end of Heart of Thorns when you lose Tree Bro, and she was like, oh no, and I was like, yeah, she likes the story now.
Oh man, so many people were so glad to see Traherne die.
Hey, Tree Bro is there. He is there to be your best friend. Okay, he's your bestie.
He was also there as a fill in for the player, just in case they wanted to write more books.
That's fair. But yeah, and then like we did all of the story in order after that.
As you should.
And yeah, I think Living World Season 3, Path of Fire, and Living World Season 4 was kind of like the absolute peak for the game.
Yeah.
Okay. Jeannie, what about you? What do you think about the story from Core to Soda?
A lot. So as I said, I also started playing back in beta and at launch. And I know everybody here has met me since the pandemic. And during the pandemic is when I latched onto raids. From 2012 until like halfway through 2020, I was purely an explorer. I love the open world. I love going around like exploring every little nook and cranny. So like I took my time with the story. I did it multiple times. I love it all. I really hate that we can't go back and redo. Name escapes me. The last chapter where we kill Zaitan.
God, Death or Victory.
Yeah, we have to have a new character or one set up to do that. I do not like that they removed it as the story path of the dungeon.
Yeah.
Living World Season 1, I'm glad they brought it back. Somewhat. I don't like that they didn't give us the Mitrin dungeon in Delesio Seaboard.
Yeah, the one that starts off in Lion's Arch.
Yep. I know they gave it to us in a story instance, but I want that dungeon back.
Well, it's actually split between two fractals right now.
Right. It's Aetherblade and Mitrin.
Yeah. I mean, you're only missing like 3 or 4 fights if memory serves. Like, there's no boss fights that you're missing, but
Right, but it was like a team building dungeon, like with
yeah,
times.
yeah. No, I completely get it. They should have brought it back as a full thing to do.
Yeah. I don't like with how they brought back Living World Season 1. I love the Lion's Pride, but I don't like that you can't warp anywhere out of there. You have to exit to Gandaren to get anywhere.
Yeah, that sucks.
Season 2, they were still a little bit on the whole, like, living world, changing the world with the vines that they did in Iron Marches and stuff. And I like that they, like, did the whole, like, changing the world thing. Now, I agree making it a replayable thing is also good, but I also like the what they did in Kessex as well. Heart of Thorns, great. Love it. Jack Infusions for life. Season 3 was okay. Oh. Should I bring up the Eye of Janthir now or later?
Whenever you want.
Go ahead.
So, like, in episode 6 of season 3, we saw the Eye of Janthir die.
Mm-hmm.
And then they kind of unceremoniously brought it back in Soto.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to put this up on the coat rack for Janthir later, because I have issues with this.
You should tell people where they might have spotted it, because actually a lot of people didn't notice it was in the room.
And it was in the throne room, I believe, during... was it before or after Eparch?
A little bit before, and then he disappears at the end when you try to go up to it.
I still need to replay that mission so I can see what you guys are talking about.
Yeah, I was gonna say, a lot of people actually paid attention to the surrounding.
Path of Fire was great. I loved going back and visiting the Nightfall areas. Living World Season 4 is my favorite, with Dragonfall being my favorite map. Though I really hate how they did Korna dirty, and Gandara is just in the story instance, and they didn't do anything for it, open world wise.
Not mean to do that.
You guys are a door on me.
I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry. I'll set it over there.
Living World Season 4, Dragonfall. Dragonfall is my favorite map. It is. I have so many thoughts about Dragonfall that I can't think of all of them straight.
Is it because it's the closest to Fissure Woe that we're gonna get?
And Underworld?
Probably, and Underworld.
No, we have Hollow Chains.
Underworld Gradewing 5, but...
Yeah, Hollow Chains.
Right, but that's different from ripping the Underworld from the mists from Guild Wars 1.
That's all I'm saying. They need to bring back the actual Underworld and Fisherable.
Yeah. Fissure Woe and Underworld come back.
There's a lot of stuff that I wish they would bring back from Guild Wars 1. But also, we never got
mini dungeons too, or like not really mini, but maybe like a strike / sort of dungeon, because it would have several bosses in it, or whatever.
Well, it would be really cool if they brought back. It would be cool if if they ever bring back Fissure of Woe, they also go more into the human gods, because at that point you bring Menzies back and explain what's up with him. Because we killed Balthazar. If he has any blood love for Balthazar, Menzies is going to have an issue with us.
Yeah.
And that's the next boss of the next expansion.
Alright, Jenny, keep going, sorry.
No, I was going to say, also in Dragonfall, Guild Wars 1 Temple of Ages, they had a statue for Melandru's Lost Domain, but they never added the instance for it, and now we actually got to see it. That was a beautiful touch.
It would have been amazing.
What, IBS was next? The first 5 instances were great. I really loved how they took Drizzlewood, and when the South map released, it was like a 2-hour meta, and it was really interactive. You really had to invest in that siege and really go hard on the South meta, and then they released the North half. And then they made it so that it still felt like you were pushing the lanes, but they didn't make it tedious upkeep. And they allowed the meta to flow for still 2 hours, but they gave you the whole map this time.
Yeah.
Jumping a little bit ahead, it's one of my biggest gripes with Nyos. End of Dragons. Controversial opinion.
Are you going into the Delve?
What?
Because you went from Nyos to End of Dragons.
No, I was on Icebrood Saga. I skipped done DRMs because those are still the worst instance. DRMs are the worst content in this game.
I couldn't agree more.
I think they're
honestly
the worst instance content.
If it was only a little bit of things, sure, but it kind of got.
It is repetitive, and the worst offender is the Fireheart Rise one, where it's kill destroyers. Now escort these char while you kill destroyers. Now defend this position while you kill destroyers. And it's like, really? You want me to sit here and do this for 20 minutes? Like, it puts me to sleep because it's just repetitive. End of Dragons. It was nice to see all the locations and how they've evolved, but as a whole, it was maybe a 6 out of 10 for me.
It was definitely lacking some locations from, if you're talking about comparing it to factions.
Like, I loved running around Kaineng in Guild Wars 1, and the fact that they gave us just that little section in the northeast of New Kaineng, it felt like a slap in the face that we don't get to explore a Janthir Sentry size map of Drowned Kaineng. It was also very obvious that the developers and designers of End of Dragons were very Kurzix aligned, because if you look at Ekavald Wild, you get Arborstone as the hub area, you get Hausu Heltzer, you get to visit all of the Kurzix areas that made the
no
Kurzix.
love for the Lux. That's
Well,
right. Say it from the chest.
Well, hold on, because I'm not done there yet. They
Superior.
even moved the Vasberg Armory from South
Yeah.
Ekavald up to next to Aspenwood with no reason for the move, and just so that we could get all that Kurzix lore.
Yep. Oh, I know. That's actually one of my gripes about EOD overall. It's just like, yeah.
And then when they were like, Jade Quarry, and I was like, oh, cool. And they were like, oh, you get to see both sides, the Kurzix and the Luxon, but you don't really get to go to Cavalon. And then they went to the Gyaladel for the side story, and it was like, oh, they're gonna give us the Deep, which they did, and then they were like, because the Deep connects with Cavalon, the whole map is gonna end in Cavalon, we're gonna have all the... And it's like, nope, it just loops on itself. And it's Kurzix magic that saves us. And I'm like, I felt so let down by the end of Dragons. That it was just like, Kurzix as a Luxon.
Well,
Also, I'm on your side there, Gene.
Well, we all know that ANET loved the forest goths more than the island fishers more.
So, out of the game, in IRL, I went to the 10th anniversary Guild Wars 2 party at PAX. And throughout the day, they had a scavenger hunt around downtown Seattle. And I remember talking with one of the devs at one point. I was like, there's so much in this game that I wish we could see and what's been done with it. And the first thing I said was, I wish we could see the Wizard's Tower. And this was just before Soto. And that dev shut up very fast. I like Soto. I don't like the story of Soto. Like, the maps are beautiful. It gives a lot of lore. It's a lot of stuff that I like to see them progressing the story beyond the dragons. I don't like the amount of empty space that they added and made it seem like it's a big map when it's really like half that size.
Yeah.
I also don't appreciate the whole, like, in the middle of a story they're like, oh, go do events in the area. We couldn't write anything here, just go do events. And then in Nios, it's, you don't have to do the metas in order. It was definitely 3 months of a third of a map, 3 months on a third of a map, 3 months on a meta that can only spawn if you've done the other 2/3, and it drags out, and it doesn't feel cohesive.
I understand.
I will agree with you on one aspect of the Soda story kind of being annoying, but my whole issue, and I've talked to Kit on her podcast about this, is I didn't mind the story, but my whole issue with the entirety of Soto was after we get introduced to Patha, whenever she talks to you, you always get that ding of a whisper, and then, Wayfinder. I'm just sitting there like, will you stop fucking whispering and talk like a normal person for 5 fucking seconds, woman?
I think that's mostly because she wasn't always there.
Well,
She was.
Yeah. I feel like the recordings were definitely different places, different times.
Yeah, that was my only issue, and if it is because of that, then I'm.
Because you can kind of, and this is just to bring up a different game, like we were playing Final Fantasy 14. Some of the, like, we all agree, like Yustola and a few others, like, they sound like they might have been recording at home in their own little box instead of in a studio. So it could have been, like, because of, obviously, because a lot of these companies make games a year to 2 years ahead,
Yeah.
in a sense. So, yeah, it could have been during COVID or whatever, or, like, end of COVID and, safety reasons. So, yeah.
And, like, the whole reason Epark is evil is because Patha said Epark is evil.
Yeah.
Well, there is a bit of backstory to that one. It's actually because he was banished from the Wizard's Tower.
Yeah, it's like a kingdom, like, lineage. If you, like, read the details, it's like he just wasn't included because he wasn't listening. So
Like,
Oh.
Ishtar kicked him out from the Wizard's Tower, and that's why he hated them, because he wanted to take control from them because of that.
So essentially, the entire reason why Epark is evil is to get kicked out of his room. He got told to go to his room and just sat there listening to My Chemical Romance with a knife.
Well, if you guys didn't read the lore books, what it is basically is that he tried to suppress his appetite, and he told Ishkarin that he is struggling. Ishkarin basically said, "Too bad," and then he ended up massacring a centaur village, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ishkarin said, "Well, you're a threat, so bye." And so he ended up getting kicked out for that. And then he said, "Well, then I'm going to take the Wizard's Tower back, and I'm going to take control back." My biggest issue was, why did you have to make the Cryptus friendly? You could have just had evil demons be evil demons. Like, a baddie can just be a baddie, right? You don't need a backstory. You don't need trauma to make them a villain, you know?
I think that comes from during Giala Delve, they were really focusing on trauma and the commander's trauma.
Yeah.
And they were trying to, like, incorporate heavier themes to the story.
Which is fine, but it's just unfortunate because you didn't need to tag. Like, you don't need these, all of a sudden now there's just Cryptus who are just sweet little loving creatures, when Cryptus are meant to be bloodthirsty demons. Let them be bloodthirsty demons. That's kind of why I'm digging the Titans so far. They just want to kill everything.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm full on it. Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, yeah, they made the Cryptus too much of, like they were trying to attach too much trauma and backstory to a bunch of demons, you know? And Epark at the end was kind of like the lamest ending fight, because he was also just like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm the bad guy, I guess." And it's like, well, yeah, you were eating your own people. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
The epic fight that we deserved was in the fractal.
Yeah.
And I hate how they did that fractal so dirty, because every time the community would find a way to do the fractal and do all the mechanics and everything, they were like, no, we don't like that way, so we're going to patch that out. And they did that 3 or 4 times to the point where it's now just get lucky in a group of gamers or suffer.
yeah, they kind of did that with like basically the legendary CM mode as well, as it was kind of a suffer mode, and then people figured out a way, so they're like, oh, we'll just release a regular CM.
All right. Well, Jeannie, or do you think that wraps up what you think about everything up to Soto?
Yeah, I think. I probably have more in my brain at some point.
All right. Let's move to Kit. We haven't heard from Kit in a while.
I don't know if I want to say my opinions on certain things. It's controversial, but other things, I agree with a lot of y'all stuff. Heart of Thorns, I was a big Air fan. I started way at the beginning, but like Air literally was my girl. Like that was my bae, and you know, her dying actually really it pissed it actually I when I did QA, that was the game I had to QA on, and so I saw a lot of that before y'all, and so it made me very upset to see it live at the same time. So, yeah, when they killed her, I actually didn't want to touch the rest of the Heart of Thorns for a good chunk. Like, I actually stayed away from it for a while. I did like the metas and all that good stuff on my alts and like hopped off of people, but that was about it. And then I finally was like, I'm just gonna truck through, get this done, did the thing, enjoyed it. I personally didn't think Traherne should have had get toasted. I honestly think that it's funny when the characters actually do die. All of a sudden, the community's like Pikachu face. Wait, why did you kill him? We wanted, and it's like you were complaining nonstop to these developers on Reddit, the forums, and chatting probably whatever to get rid of these people, and they do it, and now you're shocked. What? So I was kind of disappointed on that. I actually think he was cool. He might have been a lore nerd, but I think he would have been perfect, and like he would be good in this setting now. Like I feel like he would have been like a good like librarian lore nerd of Tyria. Like you would just go to him, he could fill you in, tell you all the stuff that's going on, and that's that. Just because he just had his ways of just like knowing everybody.
I have a lore question.
Yeah.
Do we know what happens with Sylvari after they die?
So,
Or could they, in theory, be uploaded back to the dream for rebirth later?
So, if I recall correctly, with how the Sylvari lore works, is they are connected to they are connected to the Pale Tree through a kind of hive mind, but it doesn't control them. Like every Sylvari is still their own independent agent. When a Sylvari dies, their consciousness is kind of read and it's uploaded into the tree as a way to help propagate the next generation. So you can't go, oh hey, Traherne died. We're going to go into the dream. We're going to go into the dream and pull Traherne out. It's, hey, Traherne died. Here's everything he learned, and we're going to use this for the next Sylvari that are born from the tree.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna be real with you guys. I don't know about salad lore. This man here would know more. I don't know. I don't really.
I asked the salad.
yes.
Yeah.
So when a Sylvari dies, they are dead. It's like trying to bring back a human.
Look at Path of Fire. That worked pretty well for Joko.
Yeah.
Well, Joko is a rule, is an exception rather than a rule.
Right, but he created the whole Awakened with the Archon guy.
Well, MMO Anthropology puts it perfectly. Past lives are staging memory, but not the person again. You cannot put that egg back together.
Yeah. Basically, Traherne getting pooped off. Kind of disappointment. Overall, the Dragon Sand, great fight, good times. Move on. What was next? POF. Yes, POF was next. POF. Beautiful maps. Laggy as hell. Takes forever to load in those maps. I know they've been trying to fix that over time, but it's still rough. The mounts they added into the game, whole new experience. I could say that I actually, even though I do enjoy the different amounts I get from other MMOs, like just earning them through other things, whatever, I like that the mounts here have abilities. So I do like that we can do crazy things with our mounts, fly, whatever, smack, kill, whatever, race, great stuff. That was a good introduction for mounts to come in. I often still go on foot everywhere because of just old habits are hard to kill. Uh, I then went over to, I would say, POF overall, Joko coming back, and then we doing the thing, destroying. Great time, fun time. The story wasn't too bad. I do have some parts and bits of, like how Jeannie said, of certain situations of just like introductions of characters and not showing things or like not bringing over other things, other assets from Guild Wars 1, like whatever, connections basically. Same with EOD. EOD, beautiful, beautiful maps, beautiful music. The strikes weren't that bad to me. That dragons made it not that bad. Yes, it was rough. Yes, there was a whole bunch of controversy at the beginning for that stuff. But overall, great time. Got my turtle. I'm a happy camper. Great. And I also love fishing. Fishing might not be for everyone, but fishing being an introduction into that and made by the guy who made basically Nicholas the Traveler with his wife and a few other, like, chef kiss. That's my favorite. That's my superhero, my celebrity dub that I look up to. And his wife. They're amazing. Um then for Saga, because I think only a few of us have mentioned that, because it's a game that's in the dark in a sense for some people. I liked it, but I also disliked it because it was supposed to be a Norn Char story, but it was at the end like 90% Char story and 10% Norn, and that made me very upset. Where is the Norn? Bram being Bram, I feel like he got his little anxious stuff out of him. I think the people got what they wanted him to grow up and move on from his mom's death. I personally don't. I never had a problem with him like going through the emotions. I also understand why he doesn't act fully like a Norn, uh, because he's surrounded by other races and stuff, like cultures and travels and stuff. Now the new brand, which we'll get to at some point, it seems like he's starting to kind of go back into his roots, which is fine. But overall, the saga was great, and then yeah. So all the overall, the stories were great. Scarlet was great. I wish Scarlet would come back, honestly, but it is what it is. Um, Tahern should come back, but I guess Kanak will do, and that's that. I can't talk about the other stuff because until we're about to get there soon. So I don't know. What about you? What are your favorites?
So I'll keep everything short, sweet, and simple because I do agree with like almost everything you guys have said about story wise. I've thoroughly enjoyed the story. I'm a lore hound, as you guys heard with the whole Savari thing. Um, with me, I don't like. The one thing I do not like is when I have like a new player in my chat or see a new player that's in the game and everyone's like, "Oh, what should I do now?" And people are like, "Oh, boost to 80 and get 10 game." It's like, no, fucking play the game, dude. And whenever huh?
Sorry, I would like to see Scarlet as a Revenant legend. Like that would actually be kind of.
I didn't mention that Scarlet would make a really cool Rev legend.
Yeah.
And
Well,
like the red color would go with kind of their new thematic theme they're going with there.
Yeah, and I don't even play Revenant, but I think that'd be a good aspect. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, we've seen Scarlet come back as a Revenant thing with my Trin in the Aether Blade Hideout Assault. That was a really good fight, and I would like to see that come back too. Completely agree with you there. But like whenever, what? Renner?
What?
Was that you? I thought you were trying to say something.
Oh, I didn't say anything. No, I was just agreeing that Scarlet would be a cool one.
Okay. But like whenever I have somebody who's like, oh, just level 80 boost through the game, it's like I always ask them in map chats. It's like, hey, where's Keelan's grave? And I have to this day of like 10 years of dealing with this crap, have never gotten an answer. And I have other people whispering, it's like,
Fields of Ruin.
yeah, it's like, and other people are like,
Northwest.
yeah,
Corner.
it's like, what do you mean by Keelan's grave? It's like, if you played the story and paid attention, played the game you bought, you could go and see Keelan's grave. You know exactly where it is, and if you read the books, you know the lore behind it, which is really cool in my mind. Keelan was a Savari. Syl and Sylvaria get killed, gets buried on the brand, and it cleanses the area because the draconic magics cancel each other out.
But it's the kind of same concept of like people not because I didn't cover over Soda either. Just a little ago, I just thought about it now. You guys covered basically what I liked and disliked about Soda, but like Runer said, there's like I love my mom, but she skipped over a lot. Like she just clicked those books and opened them and closed them because she wanted her achievements and get them done. I was like, pause and read them because a lot of these books are like engraves or anything like that. Like they tell you details. They fill in the fillers in some points. Not all the time. There's some things that are left in the dust for the fans to play and interpret what they think happened. But like those lore of like just what was happening in Soto, why he was trying to go after the Wizard Tower. But like yeah, it was a great like. People just don't take the time to kind of peep around. They just like quickly do their story and then go, "Where is this?" And you're just like, you would have saw that if you paid attention or looked around the room.
I think your complaint is more about MMO culture though, because like
Oh yes, the
that's
MMO
what
culture's
MMOs in
changed
general.
exactly, and me and you and M had this talk a while back on the
Yeah.
last year for the podcast. So yes, it's the culture's changed, the speed of how people play, read, take in things.
And we're the weird ones.
Yeah,
Like,
we're the weird ones for sure.
because people are like max level in a day, or you are bad at the game, and it's like
Yeah,
I just want to explore. Like when I know it's another MMO, obviously, but like New World when that came out, we were so far behind because we were just like cutting down trees, we were checking out little like nooks and crannies,
yep,
and people were max level already by the time we were like level 30.
yep.
And and so we got left behind. And so as soon as you get left behind in content, those people who got to max level right away are like dead game, don't bother playing it, nothing to do. And it's like you put in 600 hours in 2 weeks. Sounds like there's something to do, right? Like, but yeah, it's that culture. It's the because like if you go play World of Warcraft, like I like the game, but I don't really know the story or lore besides like playing Warcraft 2 and 3. I know that kind of stuff. But going to WoW, I have no idea what's going on half the time in the story. I'm just like, oh, this is cool.
Yep, yep. I feel you. Same.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, you can continue. That just bothers me because that's literally what we talked about even last year about this whole stuff. So.
Yeah, well, the other thing, the next portion that I want to get into is just a quick roundtable. What did you guys think about the Zaitan fight? Was it too easy? Did it not make sense in lore? What did you guys think of that?
There's no Zaitan fights. There's pretty much no Zaitan fight. Like they could have given us something really cool with that, but it's just here's some cannons.
I remember there was a lot of concept art, and I think there was even like a video of the area where there was supposed to be like an on-ground fight with Zaitan that was just cut at the end of development.
Yeah,
that would be a really cool fractal or strike or something to actually get a real. I obviously future in the story, but Balthazar fight too, kind of same thing, disappointing. But like Zaitan was a big end game boss, and it felt like it was barely.
That one, and same with the
one. It barely felt like it was a fight.
Yeah, same with the. That's kind of how I felt with not only Zaitan, but like, Heart of Thorns. Like, it was just like a fat little chubby mofo that you're fighting, a little chunker, and then yeah, the Dragon Stand quote is like a dragon version of him, whatever. But it's just like I was expecting that. Like, you should let me fight that as a storyline. I know it could be like you would have to condense some things down, but like fighting just like a visionary chunker of Mortimer. Okay, and the same with Soto. It was just like the end for him, like the F Park, whatever. Like, holy crap, that fight was just a blowover.
Yeah,
and yet this was me.
You don't see the Spider Boy.
Yeah. So it's like they put certain things in the wrong spots, or they cut for budget or whatever time, and it's
And the whole Nightmare Court lane on the north of Dragon Stand should have been kept in.
Yeah.
So I will actually.
I'm sorry, kid, for bringing that one up.
No, no, I agree. There's a lot of, and same thing with the Oh my god, no, I don't have in my head the not really bad, but they are kind of bad. The bad Asuras, because they were messing around with a lot of pre Heart of Thorns as well.
Inquest.
Inquest. Thank you. Yes. So it's just like, they kind of dabbled them in Inquest, and when are we gonna get some more like I don't know, face them and figure out what the hell they're really up to?
So I will push back a little bit with the Morgemoth, not the Morgemoth, the Zaitan fight. I actually really like the lore behind Zaitan because we know that the dragons consume stuff to get the magic out of it and stuff like that. That's how the Morgemoth fight works. Is he just woke up? He's trying to eat those ley islands to get more magic to become more formidable, even though he already is pretty formidable to begin with. And with me, the lead up to victory or death, what do we do for a third of our expansion? It's like, hey, here's something that Zaitan has put a lot of magic into. Let's go kill it. Hey, let's go and cut off this axis. We're like killing Zaitan through 1,000 little sting. No, I'm talking about Zaitan.
Oh, you said Morgemoth prior.
So I said Morgemoth with the Ley Islands.
Thorns.
Yeah. Did I?
Yeah, I think it's because I confused you because I started talking about him too. Yeah.
So Morgemoth is the one thing I'm talking about. Zaitan. So with Zaitan, the last third of the core expansion pack, we do nothing but take out his eyes, his stomach, all these other things that he's dumped a lot of magic into to create them, because we know that all of them are constructions from the Elder Dragons. So we are killing him through little pinpricks here and there with Zaitan, and then we do go on to the fight in victory or death. And I do agree that the fight does kind of suck, but at the same time they were trying to get the game out the door and get it out there.
No. It didn't so much sucked. It was just fighting a little chunker man. It was the model. Yeah, it was the build up, and it'd be like, oh, it's a little chunker man. It would have to be.
Man, when I first seen Zaitan, I thought he looked freaking cool.
No, to me,
Zaitan,
it was just a little
the model
fat
is
little
awesome.
blob.
But I know I want to say it was Path 2 or it was Path 3 of Ara. For a while there, you could actually find Zaitan's corpse somewhere in one of the paths, but eventually they did remove it, which kind of sucked.
Yeah, they removed it. I love that dungeon though. It was a bane of existence at the beginning before all builds were super big, and so a lot of people didn't want to run it because it was too hard. But it was
Path 4
fun.
is still a pain in the ass.
Yeah, it's its own unique little dungeon for sure.
But I'll speed run through the rest of this because we've been on this for a little while, and I know that everyone, Bruno and Ember really haven't had time to jump in with the conversation. I do want to move on to the next thing, so I'll just speed run. Heart of Thorns, absolutely loved it. I'm a Sylvari, for Christ's sakes, was my favorite thing. I was on the world's first kill for Morgemoth, so that was my big thing. And I love seeing how the strat for killing Morgemoth has killing the towers, the 3 towers, has changed since I first did it. And it's like 6 months after we first did it. That way it changed to what it is now. Absolutely love that. Living World Season 2 was pretty good.
Silabus, can I interrupt you for a second?
Yeah, what's up?
I'm curious how you feel about the lore of the Corpse Grove in Burning Brick.
I need to see more of it. I want to see more. I don't care. Okay. I just need to see more.
Okay.
I am a lore hound. I don't care. I need to see more so long as it's not fucking the Smut Rider.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes, I do
Smut
not like
Rider
Snuggle.
in Corpse Grove would be funny.
I don't think we're going to need to see that kind of smut.
I'm going to write in a suggestion right now.
Yeah, I've got one suggestion kind of on my screen right now as well that I'm going to bring up as soon as I'm done. But Heart of Thorns was good. Living World Season 3 leading up to Path of Fire was absolutely amazing. Path of Fire itself is great. It has the bosses for Heart of Thorns, so the Mind Morgemoth fight and the Balthazar fight have some of my favorite lines in the game. The Mind Morgemoth fight, if you play as a Sylvari, he does kind of take you over, and you have to have one of your buddies save you. And my favorite line from that fight is your character looks at him and goes, "That hurt." And I just imagine your character's getting up, holding half their face, just pissed off to no end and ready to just walk on somebody. The next one is with Balthazar when you're fighting him as the final boss fight. when you get him down to about like 15% HP, and he goes, "I am fire, I am war. What are you? What are you?" And your just character just goes, "Still standing." At that point, it's like balls of titanium right there. Just sit there, look at a gun, and go, "You killed me twice, and I still ain't dead. Let's go." Living World Season 4 was pretty good. Iceberg Saga was good with especially with Bram finally getting over the death of his mother, finally accepting that it wasn't you who killed Air, and you were actually trying to do good things. Ender Dragons was really good. Was able to see Cantha. I liked how a lot of the development has gone. I do agree we should have been able to see more of it. Specifically, the west side of Xingje Island would have been amazing. Secrets of the Obscure was pretty good. Took way too long to get out. Started off with a pop, ended with a fizzle. Could have ended a lot better, but we got what we got.
I thought it wasn't well liked when it came out, was it? Because we didn't play. I think when it was.
Yeah, it was well liked at the
Voice acting, right?
What's up?
Yeah.
Like they missed all the voice acting when that expansion launched, right?
No,
Ice.
there's some voice acting.
So Iceberg Saga is the one you're thinking of that hit during COVID,
Yeah,
and it was like
yeah.
like the third. It was the third part to the end that didn't have voice acting, and
Yeah.
then a little like a half a year after that, they were able to get everybody back in studio because COVID, the vaccines and all that came out, so everyone was getting. They figured out how to do the testing and everything. They got everyone to come back in and redo all the voices for IBS, and then they released it as a patch.
To be fair, Iceberg Saga had one of the most depressing lines in any of the games when at the very end when she's talking to what's his name?
Oh, are you talking about if I would have known what you would become, I would have smothered you in the crib?
Yeah, I was like, damn.
Oh my god.
I wasn't expecting that line. That line hit pretty damn hard.
Yeah, no, that was a good one.
Yeah, that was a line. Holy Jesus.
Yeah, when that one, because like Guild Wars never really had that kind of in it, I guess. Like that was pretty depressing and pretty dark, and I was like, oh, there's something there.
It needed to be said though. That was crazy.
It was powerful. It fit the timeline because like
no, and I.
Oh, go ahead. Well, I was gonna just say that's why like I felt like the story, cause like at the end, Braum and that little fight scene, like double thing, there was a little bit of talking with them, but it felt like it was more like towards the limelight of Rylan, Ritlock, and is it
Krisha?
What's it? Krisha. Thank you. I was gonna say the other Char.
Yeah, I was trying to think of her name. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I think it was more focused on like plus the general of like how the Char kind of changing their cultural aspects in a sense of like how they run their lines and cities and the different type of Char or whatever. So, yeah, that was a good line. I agree. That line was OP.
Again, we played through it when there was already audio.
Yeah.
So we didn't have we weren't reading that part. It was all audio there. So we definitely made that more impactful than for people who played through it beforehand because, I mean, obviously with voice acting, there's a bit more impact there.
See, that's why I do like the rushes of us going back because people might have missed that when the voice before. It's a good way to go back and check the stuff out whenever they do rushes for these seasons or stories and stuff.
And I can't understand why people dislike DRMs from that chapter because of like at the time I think they kind of forced them out pretty.
I don't mind all of it. I just think it's a little like maybe a couple maps, good, call it a day. But it just felt like they kind of like it felt like a way of just like let's just add this filler because we have nothing else going, and that's fine.
That's what it was. It was filler.
Yeah.
So that'll actually bring me to something I have on the sticky note here. I seen your post in chat there, Runer, a little while ago when Jeannie was talking about stuff. So Runer said Jeannie is wrong about DRMs. Oh, let's get some spicy stuff going. Let's hear this shit.
Let's hear the arguments and the things. Okay.
Round 1, fight.
I mean, DRMs are fine for what they are. Like they're fun in groups. Me and M did all of them just as us, and I think we did a couple as public, and they weren't that great. But then when we started going for the was it Eye of Dormag? The infusion. We were doing the infusion achievement. It's for Eye of Dormag. And we went back and redid them, but we did them with 3 other guild members. we turned on all the challenge modes, and we did all that. And it was quite a bit of fun. But again, we didn't do them at launch, where that was like all you had, which I think Jeannie probably did, obviously, where that was like all she had for new content kind of thing. But yeah,
are you asking me?
Yeah, I'm assuming you did them as they were active, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the people who have done them when they were active. A lot of people, obviously, even in our chat, just dislike them. Unless your name is Gold, then you love them. But when we did them for the achievement, kind of casually, where we did a couple here and there, got the achievements from it, did something else, and then came back to it, I had no issues because I wasn't spamming them all day, every day, because that was the most relevant content. I was just doing them for fun. And yeah, once you throw in challenge modes, you have a full group. Some of the fights, I mean, I'm not disagreeing that, I'm not saying every DRM was magic or anything like that, but some of the fights were definitely fun. There was a few where you actually, there's some challenges to it and they get quite difficult. I would love to hear why Jeannie hates them so much, though.
Well, my issues with it is repetitive objectives in a locked instance that you have to spend like 10 to 20 minutes in each. And as you said, I was doing them on launch, so it was okay, go kill destroyers over here for 20 minutes. Go kill Frost Legion over here for another 15. Oh, here's another Frost Legion one. And it felt like I was wasting time to get to a boss. And they set up a lot of like really cool stuff with like Jormag trying to freeze the world and keep people so that it would be populated when everything else was dead and done. It had a lot of cool lore implications. At the end of the Caledon one, they were like, hold on, before I get there, the mastery points in the world were visible on launch. I don't think they are now.
I think they still are.
They still are. The DRM one? Yeah, you can still see them in the world.
Yeah, they were there, and we were trying to figure out why the hell are these master points here all of a sudden. And we were going up there, and we were trying to find where they were. Nobody could find the mastery points. And then they launched the DRMs, and it was like, here's the mastery points.
Yeah, I'll admit that was bad planning on their part for that one.
And then the Caledon one ends after the boss. The Tengu are finally like, oh, maybe we'll open up the Dominion of Wind. How long ago was that?
They hyped up poor people.
They hyped up the Tengu so much.
The believers,
Yeah,
the ones that wanted to. Especially because a lot of players want Tengu as a race and Coden, and yeah.
They continued that hype in End of Dragons, in Arborstone, and in the southeast of Ekavold with Mori Village. And we still haven't done it. And it just feels like another slap in the face that they've hyped up the Dominion of Winds.
You off the DRMs now and you're on to Tengu? Is that where we're going? DRMs to Tengu, now you're mad about something else. And I'm mad about you with that one. I agree. Tengu needs more.
As a longtime player of Guild Wars, they have promised and like given us like breadcrumbs of possibilities and just haven't followed through. And it just feels like it's another bait on the hook.
They could also, my thinking is like they're throwing it out there to see how the fan base react to decide in the future content, but it does suck when it's thrown out there because then you're getting hopeful if you are into that particular race or content or character or whatever, that like, oh, maybe they're bringing something back, maybe this is a hint, which sucks, because it's oftentimes just maybe they're just trying to, excite people for some type of content that could be possible in the future of that stuff. But it's how they execute it, which makes it, kind of a flop sometimes, I feel. Because I was kind of excited too. I'm not a Tengu fan, but I was like, kind of hoping to see the doors open. But I guess maybe sometime later we will.
I kind of like Deo's message here. Honestly, DRMs I feel like were their attempt at the Aetherblade invasion from season 1, but they did not make them open world. They are open world repetitive events in an instance. Repeated, whatever that word is. I think if they were open world, it would have been better.
Yeah, the repetitive.
Yeah.
It functioned
Yeah,
open world though, because you have to change because the one that takes place in, like, let's say
Lake
Lake
Dork.
George, it's frozen. So like, I guess you could have had an event that like all of a sudden the lake freezes over and then it happens, but
yeah.
it's not. It's hard to make that open world content for that. Obviously, the fire ones you can set, Caledon Forest on fire, whatever. But
And there's an easy way to do that, and they already explained it in Living World Season 4 with the incursions of Jahai.
Yeah, we have the Awakening
And
incursions
maybe
and
like
Queen's
because
Dale.
like you said, you played the DRMs with your guild mates and your friends and stuff, so that maybe it felt like the time and the experience that you played wasn't as tedious. It was more like just enjoyment because you're actually enjoying content with other people who enjoy content, plus making gold or whatever you're trying to do, or masteries. Um, for me, it wasn't like I hate it. Like I'll still go do it if I want to go do it, especially like with a group of friends. I agree, it's fun, chill, relax, we get things done. But if you're just trying to like get it like the beginning, like you said, you guys weren't there at the beginning of that part. Like it definitely just felt like I was here to do my daily and log out. Like,
yeah, I understand that.
yeah.
Like, if it feels like it's forced content where you have to do it, otherwise, like, what else are you gonna do, kind of thing. I get
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
But like,
but I don't hate it.
for us, it
Overall,
was just
good.
like
Yeah.
playing on those challenges was fun because it was like I wish they would add more of those kind of challenge modes to things.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, if they want to revamp dungeons, they could do a challenge mode where you can
I
start at the
That's
beginning and
something I agree. Yes.
everything difficult, right?
Yep. Yep.
And then dungeons are all of a sudden revamped. The only thing is, I do agree with Jeannie. The rewards from DRMs are not quite where they should be for how long they are.
Yes.
And the
That's
only thing I
another
can
reason.
think of that would fix that, just give gifts of Aurene at the end, right? Like you need those anyway.
Ooh.
If you
Yeah.
gave 3 to 6 of those per run, people would start doing them more because gifts of
Mm-hmm.
Aurene do have some value. Granted, you might hurt the value of gifts of Aurene.
I was actually shocked
Yeah.
that you didn't get those from DRMs.
It would make sense, right? Like we've talked
Yeah.
about it before. Me and Em talked, and because Em was crafting something. What were we crafting?
It was my Primordius variant.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, here, let me give you some type extras. And I was like, I think we can do DRMs to get some. And we did a DRM, and I was like, fuck, I got none. But like, even if you
That
gave
would be perfect, really,
one,
honestly.
you know, as a daily reward, not like
Yeah,
spam.
yeah, no, exactly. Like it would have to be a limit, or you definitely would kill the market on it. But
Yeah, like when you do dragons.
But like,
yeah,
all of a sudden, DRMs have value, right? And because what is the rewards right now? I haven't actually looked them up in a while. It's
oh,
Renner, I'm gonna jump off of that. What if there was you do one DRM per day, and at the end of that you got, because they're about the length of a meta, you got an Ice Brood Saga choice chest.
sure, yeah, just something to give you some reward to that content because right now, like I said, I do like DRMs, they're fun, but I don't really do them because they're kind of like, why would I do that versus something like is like doing fractals, right? I'd rather do fractals, get my 25, 30 gold,
oh yeah,
same
big difference.
amount of time, be done.
I made well over 50 gold yesterday
Doing
doing
what?
my fractal static for 2 hours. We run an hour before reset and an hour after reset, and we wind up hitting 2 days worth of dailies, both T4 and CMs, in that 2 hours.
That's nice.
Yeah, but if you break it down to an hour, how much gold did you make then?
About 50 to 75 gold for that 2 hours.
But so then per hour you'd have made 25, 30. So kind of like what I said, where if you do your fractal dailies is much more valuable than doing. And that's the thing, they could add kind of basically what they do with fractals, where you have your dailies and your recs. They could add those to DRMs with like significantly better rewards, and like you said, a choice chest or something that makes it valuable. And the choice chest could have gifts of rain, or it could have provisioners tokens or whatever. Not provisioners tokens. What are the tokens from Dragonstorm?
Oh,
The Tyrian defense seals.
yeah.
Those
Yeah.
ones, yeah, those in there and things like that. And like, it's, and that's the thing, is the content is fine. I do enjoy DRMs because like you just do little meta events and whatever, and you're done. It's just there's not much of a reward at the end. Like your bang for your buck is not there. You're better off to do, you know, chalk and try to get the chalk infusion, and then pinata, which is like 5 minutes, and then you get, you know, a bunch of gold at the end. Plus, you can trade in those coin tokens if you want and things like that. But DRMs themselves are fun. I like the challenge modes. Some of them are a little bit of a drag. That's not abnormal. But
With me, I really can't say too much about DRMs because I've really only done them to get one of the eye choices for the infusion. And then there was one time me and a few of my guildmates at the time were like, hey, I want to try something stupid. I want to break the HP bar of this game. There's the one with the destroyer crab at the very end in Skritzburg. If I set my necromancer up a very specific way, and if you count shield as HP, I hit over 100,000 HP in the game. I think the max I hit in the red as just like pure HP was like 80 to 90%, and we had to try to get that thing. That was fun, but that's all I can say on DRM, so I'll let you guys keep on going. I just want to throw that in there.
then I wonder if Genie's biggest issue is that it doesn't feel rewarding. Because like again, we do a lot of, I mean, it's an MMO. You do a lot of monotonous content. That's what, like, crafting research notes, monotonous. You still do it. You still have to do it, right? But like,
Yeah.
there's not enough of a reward, in the end for it, which is valid. That is a very valid complaint. I do agree with that. It's, if there was a daily choice chest, if there was gifts of Aurene that you could farm daily, you know, and the more challenge modes you throw on, the more you get at the end or something like that, I would probably try to do them more. Because like right now, there's more value in doing Iceroot Saga 5 strikes. They're more rewarding because there's better rewards at the end of those ones, right? And they are fairly easy. If you do the easy 3 every day, it's kind of fun. I think it's the same reason why. What's the really long strike in Iceberg Saga?
You're thinking of Steel Warband?
Forging Seal.
Yeah.
Nobody does that one. I've led strikes, and then second I say we're doing that one, people are like, bye. And it's like, it's very long. There's not enough of a reward for the length of it, right? And I guess this is another topic, but that's where I think more things need unique drops in some sense, something unique to that specific thing. Like, I don't do world bosses because I don't know, it's not fun enough and engaging enough for the money you make. But if each world boss had a unique drop and I could get something special every time, or potentially each time, I'd probably do them more.
Yeah, like a weapon skin or a mount skin.
Or a Jade Bot skin would be cool.
Just, I don't know, something. Like, when they were doing those quests where you could get, like, you know, not an outfit, but, like, something fashion-wise or...
The Decade one?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Decade one everybody did.
Or,
It was
like,
great.
the mount with the sky scale, the cryptus and stuff like that. I love that, but once again, I also said I did come from Final Fantasy 14 where you did do a lot of stuff to get, like, mount skins and whatnot, so...
I mean, if you look at Chalk, you look at Pinata, you look at all those, they still have dedicated communities that do those daily, right? Like, there's literally guilds centered around running Orc Basin because of that. Or not,
Yeah.
yeah, I guess Orc Basin would be one of the ones. But that's because they have such a unique reward that has huge value. Now, if you added those onto every world boss, everybody has one chance a day to get a unique drop from each of them. It's still why, even though Soda wasn't anybody's favorite expansion, apparently, each Soda meta has a unique reward. And I still don't have the chair, I still don't have the mask, and I still don't have the axe. And so I have to keep doing them because I want those 3 things, right? But yeah, I think more unique rewards, if DRMs had unique rewards, or even a chance to drop the infusion or something every day, people would do them.
Yeah, that's I feel like an up and down, like what you said overall. MMOs change overall in general, like the culture, because there's times where it's like, well, if I don't quickly rush through this and now, I won't be able to get that set share or things while it's hot, while people are doing the content, because at that point they figure out, is the rewards rewarding enough? Is it, should I stay in this? But all that stuff gets sorted out. So then by the time you do get into it, there's not a lot of people running it because it rewards or the time or whatever. So it's like I would like to see more of that too, because I actually have some parts that I need missing pieces here and there. Like I'm still need to at some point get a group to do the ball where you have to like follow the ball or whatever to get the mastery and soda, like the little orby lightning ball. The one that you guys were doing on that stream for a good bit, trying to help M at the time. I think you guys were doing it that one day. Yeah, I still gotta get that one myself.
I still need that one too. I'll go do it with you.
Well, I'll help you guys.
Yeah, definitely.
Like having rewards, like the carrot at the end of the string needs to be something, right? And for me, it's unique rewards. It's the same reason I like the new meta in Janthir Wilds. We're not getting into that subject yet, Jeannie. It's okay. But it has a unique spear skin, right? So I'm going to keep doing that because I want that. And then when I get it, M's going to want it, right? So, or vice versa.
And don't get me wrong, I do, support them in the gem store because, yes, you don't pay a sub for this game. I think,
No, the only thing I complain about Gem Store is I think a lot of cool skins should be those rewards that Runer is talking about. That's my opinion. That's all I have. Huh?
Do you remember the Rebel boots?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you remember the music festival that happens in Grofmark?
Yes.
Why do you not get that from that?
No, I agree. Exactly. Like that would have been perfect. Because you already get the shirt or whatever or something like that, but like add the pants in after so long and like the boots or whatever. Yeah, there's certain weapons should be added in, especially for strikes, raids, whatever, even just normal content. But yeah, it's just that's my only peak about that. And then just like the Black Lion's chest, it's a hit and miss for some people. To me, it's gambling at the end of the day. I played with it a few times myself just to try and get something for my mom or other people or whatever if I can. Certain things I don't like, but I do support it in some ways because I want them to be able to continue pumping out content. Whatever pays the bill, keep the light on type of thing. And then same thing with mount skins. Like they were nice enough to give us that work claw skin, which is nice. Like stuff like that, like rewarding, like because the main one you got was kind of ugly and base. Like it wasn't that cute. But this one, they're like, here's a cute reward call. I was like, oh, it's real cute.
Everybody did that one. Like that one is so popular, and that's what I mean. Like that goes back to like there needs to be more unique rewards in game versus Gem Store. But again, Gem Store keeps the lights on, like you said.
Yeah.
Which is why I do buy gems. Like I consider myself a dolphin for this game. I do buy gems fairly often.
I love it, dolphin. That's a good way to put as a miniature.
Yeah, I'm not a minnow. I'm not a whale. I'm kind of in between where I'll spend $200 a year easy on gems, right? Like
my only issue, I guess, with the gem store, like for me personally, is I love fashion, and there's so many times I will see outfits, and I'm like, if that was like, even if they gave us an outfit and a skin, or like different pieces of that outfit.
I want the pieces to come back. Luckily, they did that with the swimsuit, but they need to bring that back. Outfits are cute. I won't put money to that. Like I'll get free ones from the Black Lion chest or from the game, but I think outfits are lame. Like sometimes I just want the boots. Sometimes I just want the pants. Sometimes I want the top, and they're just like, no, you get all of it or none, and you're just like,
yeah.
Like, you're running around, you're like, I like this person's look, and then you check, and you're like, no, it's not.
And a lot of people are like, well, it's because people don't want to play. I don't give a fuck. Let me make that choice for my character. They don't have to spend the money for that. Like,
I'm sorry. So I'll let you get us back on track.
Sorry.
No. You guys are good.
Overall, I agree. Like the DRMs, I agree with you, and I agree with you. Like on both sides, I can see why the dislikes and likes of it, whatever. So,
like I said, the only thing that I think would fix DRMs for the community is to have rewards that make it more worthwhile to do daily or weekly. Because like if you look at convergences, if you do 3 public convergences a week, you get decent rewards, right? They have a capped at 3 per week for the achievement there. But let's say you had do 4 DRMs a week or 3 DRMs a week, and you get decent rewards from it. I'm sure more people would hop in there because they'd be like, oh, hey, free gifts of Marine, or hey, free, whatever, or a chance to get this, or a chance to get the infusion or something, right?
Yeah.
Because people will do things if there's money tied to it. If there's a gold incentive, people will do anything, right? Like, look at the Delve. The Delve, if we throw up an LFG for the Delve, as much as people say they hate the Delve, we'll have a full party within 5-10 minutes. Because there is decent money to be made if you run the full thing. It is long. I understand that. It's very long. But if you run the full thing, you end up with 3 stacks of, green unidentifieds.
Fast farming has the full meta at 86 gold an hour.
For Delve?
Yeah.
Damn.
But that's what I mean. People will do it. It's good money. The one time I did it, I made 300 gold in the first half because I got the Luxon boxes that you could sell for like 40 to 50 gold each. I got like 4 of them. And M was like, I got 0. I hate you.
And
Well-
then increased legendary fishing drops in the deep as well.
Yeah, like that, and that's what I mean. Like, I wouldn't say the Delve is the most riveting content because I don't really enjoy the mid fight and the last fight, just because they're a little too stretched out. We don't need 6 forms of the Revenant there, or the
A Wanderer.
yeah, we don't need 6 forms of that one. They could cap that at 3 forms, cut the thing in like half basically, and it's more than enough.
And that's kind of what I was saying with Drizzlewood, is that when they released the north half of the map, they shortened the second half to make it still like the same amount of time. They didn't do the same thing with Giala, and it overstays its welcome.
And that's the thing is and it's kind of that was one of the issues with Dragon's End when that came out, is in order to commit to that, you have to have a fair bit of free time on your hands. Whereas meta farming, I can jump from meta to meta to meta, do a full rotation, 40 minutes, and that's multiple different maps. But if I hop into the Delve, if I want the full reward, I got to set aside 2 hours to 2.5 hours of my day, basically, right?
3 hours, depending on how your group is on that last fight.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And that would be, I guess, go back to DRMs, is where there's just, you have to commit quite a bit of time to finish one DRM versus going to do Pinata and leeching at the waypoints while everybody else collects coins, right? But yeah, there's reward. People will do it. I still do the Delve because there's some cool rewards. Like the grinning mask, the Oni arms, like there's a bunch of cool stuff there. There's that full armor set that looks like it's like RoboCop.
I'm cosplaying as a white mantle, so it's Halloween time. I'm to come out with a white mantle.
Kit's turn to the dark side.
You gotta be part of the team then.
All right. So I think that that covers that question that was up in chat from Runer. You guys went on a good, nice little while. That was good. But I agree with you guys that DRMs are kind of meh. We do need more rewards for them to get them more back into the rotation of the game. I do agree.
Sorry, I was just gonna. Do you mind if I say something in here?
Oh, please go for it.
With rewards and the achievements, like the Dragon Slayer weapons, and now the Obsidian armor, all of those like end game collection achievements are expensive and need so much ecto, and it's hard to farm ecto in the game unless you're a frickin' TP Baron.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, like, if they added, like, instead of the trash that you get from Auric Basin in the choice chest, you got, like, the putrid essences or whatever. Like, if they replaced one crap item in each choice chest with, like, 5 ectos, it would increase a lot of the like the POF metas that are never done.
Oh god, yeah. I would gladly even give up a freaking chalk egg for 5 ecto.
Yeah, like I would be, I like as somebody who's crafting obsidian, I can tell you it is not cheap in Ectos.
Yeah.
It's I'm on my third set and I have 5 pieces left, and I'm like, just gotta keep up on Ectos.
I'm on 2 of 6, and I'm still sitting there. It's like, okay, now I gotta pause doing anything to save up Ecto and to save up the Rift Essences before I can even think about going for the next part and getting gifts.
And also with the obsidian armor, I don't like that they made it so that you have to craft the obsidian armor in addition to any legendary armor you've already crafted. I was full raid legendary, and now they want me to dump however many thousands of Ectos just to get the skins of
But that's more of a
obsidian
personal
armor.
choice, then, isn't it?
It's like I already have the functionality, I already have the stuff. I would like to see what they did with the Aurene variants and have like, oh, you have a legendary piece of armor unlocked. Here's quests so that you can spend some other currency and unlock the skins without having to go through and waste all your clovers and ectos on other pieces of legendary gear that add you no value except for fashion.
So I can't say much.
Because then I should be able to buy raid armor after doing this.
Yes, you should be able to buy the skin.
The skin. Okay, that's fair. I agree with that.
Because if you ping a piece of legendary gear that's been transmuted, it'll say what it was originally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't say too much. I was one of those weirdos that did the 6 months to make one set of World versus World gear, legendary gear, and then I finally found a group that I could do raids with, and I jumped in with them, and then I still made perfected envoy armor afterwards. And I really didn't mind that grind. It kept me invested into going into that content. But I guess that's like raid content, and this is the open world stuff. So I kind of can't see and agree with you going with the if you have one legendary set, you should be able to get the obsidian a little bit easier. But I don't think it should work vice versa. So I think if you make the obsidian set, you should still have to make like perfected envoy or the regalia from World vs. World / PvP by itself. But if you're going from regalia or perfected envoy to obsidian, it should be that extra like new quest path just to get the skins.
I disagree. There should be some quest attached to it, but it shouldn't be build a whole extra legendary armor set.
No, and I completely agree with you. If it's one way, if it's perfected envoy to obsidian, completely agree with you. If it's obsidian to perfected envoy, I don't agree with you there, because perfected envoy is also used as a status symbol to show that you've done the raids and know what you're doing inside of them.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Is if you ping your perfected envoy, it says transmuted perfected envoy.
Yeah.
There's no way to remove that. So even if you transmuted a piece of obsidian to look like envoy, it would still call it out as obsidian. So I would be more in favor, if you're going from obsidian to envoy, that it would cost you legendary insight to get those skins.
Okay, yeah, I'll agree with you there. As long as you have something from the raids to show you've done the raids,
yes,
you're fine to do that. Yeah, okay. So we're on the same topic. We're just wording it a little bit differently.
I'm just in my own little world.
she's just looking at her bloodstone staff.
And
I'm trying to find the kitty that Ruiner gave me. I put in my thing. I can't find it in my name.
The other thing that I really wish they would add, and this is going to have to be a quest, it's not going to be like, oh, it's a gem store item, is a library for your teleportation scrolls.
Oh, yeah. Literally all they'd have to do is just add a tab in your inventory or in your, your hero HUD kind of thing, but, I have way too many scrolls. I collect every single one that I can. But yeah, they need a menu just strictly for once you unlock it, it unlocks it. So.
I think I have 9 scrolls right now in my shared inventory.
Yeah, I carry 5 on me.
Yeah, I are you counting like Mistlock as a scroll as well? Or are
I'm
you
counting Mistlock, Armistice,
Yeah, so
Lion's Pride, LS3, LS4, LS5, Lily of Elon, Arborstone, and Wizard's Tower.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And
those need to get condensed.
there's going to be a Janthir one at some point too.
No, Janthir one is on your hotbar.
Oh, right. It's your homestead, I guess, eh?
Yep.
Yeah, because you can just go in there and then there's the exit portal.
Yeah, you can exit to Lowland Shore, the Wizard's Tower, or Lion's Arch.
Which they really need to make it so that it also exits to Path of Fire and Heart of Thorns and End of Dragons.
It'd actually be okay if they let you craft those portals too, or something like.
I would be completely okay crafting all of them.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that too.
Because we had to attune the one in Eye of the North to all of the capital cities.
Yeah, that's what, kind of like that. Where
we had to fill the books in LS3, LS4, and LS5.
But yeah, that'd be a cool unlock for that one for sure.
Okay. Kit, do you have anything you want to add on to this real quick?
No.
All right. So we have been going for an hour and 40 minutes, which is absolutely insane. I thank you guys for all the time, but this is usually how long all of our other podcasts are. So I think we should get into the nitty gritty and like the juicy stuff of this podcast and Guild Wars 2 as a whole. We finally get to go onto the maps that has everybody's blood boiling in one way, shape, or form. Let's talk about Janthir frickin' Wilds. I do want to start off with just everyone, like, just a quick overview of what you guys think of the
There's
expansion.
people already upset. The game's barely been out.
What?
There's people already upset. The game's barely been out.
Oh, we'll hear from someone who doesn't like one specific map here in a minute.
Oh,
There's one specific map that somebody here does not like. Yeah.
okay.
So let's go reverse order this time. Let's start with Kit, then we'll go Genie, then to the Dyad. So Kit, what do you think about Janthir Wilds?
Really fun. My favorite actual thing was the activities because you get to be a fish, a bird, and all other stuff. And then the races were fun. Haven't done the jumping puzzle yet. I need to do it. I know Jeannie has linked me the jumping puzzle. I need to actually do it so I can get it on my achievements. The storyline, I guess we'll divvy into it a little more as we go through it with everyone, but really good. As a good start. Titans, I'm glad are back. I want to see what active, like, are they going to give any craps or what's going to happen? It was kind of like Soto. Soto started off strong, so I'm kind of nervous. I'm just a little nervous that it might flop again. I'm hoping it doesn't. It seems like they wrote in that letter that they know that they have too many hats on and too many things going on. So hopefully we'll see in the future. I know it probably won't be right away because it's probably already set in stone on what's coming out. But hopefully in the future things will be better. But so far to me, all right. I kind of already wish the other maps were out because it kind of feels like I just log in, go do those hearts for my achievements, for like dailies, whatever, and then do a few activities, and then I pop out. So I don't really stay on the map too long for needs sake. I guess for the meta as well. But yeah, so to me, I give the whole thing an 8 out of 10. And it's only because there's certain parts that I felt like could be more. But that's just me.
Okay, I'm going to jump in here real quick. I'm going to yell at you both Runer and Ray the Basil. You beat me to it with saying glub glub, and I hate you for it. Genie.
Glub, glub.
Why?
You're out.
Okay. So I have a cheat sheet because my friend. Sorry, I'm echoing off somebody.
Yeah, I think Runer's mic is picking up their speaker a little bit.
Oh, I can turn my gain down a little bit here.
So my friend had me do a tier list of all of the story contents, and I put Janthir launch day chapter 0 out of 10 or 0 through 10 above core story and below Living World season 4. I think the story itself is solid. Yeah. I also still think they have bitten off more than they can chew in the expansion. I think the Tyrian Alliance is competing with the Janthir story.
Yeah,
And
that's yeah. I just wanted to. I kind of don't really care for, and I said this last time on my podcast with Silabus, but the way that we kind of make Queen Jenna like this all be all lead type thing, and then the mix of that's kind of why I'm like an 8.10 on the story, because it's that's my nitpick in there. Keep going.
yeah, I think that Janthir itself. Oh,
Oh, salute on the speakers there, Runer.
Hmm?
Your mic's picking up your speakers for Discord.
Oh yeah, it's hard to turn that off because, like I said, in OBS we have a lot of filters to prevent that, so it doesn't
Yeah.
get picked up. But it's really hard in Discord. I can turn off this noise suppression here, though. Turn it back on. Oh yeah, I can mute us for now. Actually, too. Let's see.
Okay.
what was that? So, yeah, Tyrian Alliance is competing with the Janthir story because Janthir is it's very deeply buried in the Guild Wars lore, all the way back to Guild Wars 1 with the Gates of Kryta. Sorry, not Gates of Kryta, Delesio Seaboard, and picking the Chosen for the White Mantle in Bloodstone Fen. And we have not seen the Eye of Janthir in the first two maps at all. It was the hook that they used from Soto to Janthir, and there has been no mention of it. No mention of where it came from, why it exists, what it's doing, and it feels like that they haven't even thought it through. And they said when Janthir released that we're going to get 2 more maps, both about the size of Lake Doric. And it feels like a slap in the face that they're probably going to bury that lore somewhere in one of these smaller maps, and that's all they're going to say about it. When it's been hyped up for years as a big core central part of Janthir. I'm going to shut up my controversial opinions for a second.
No, you're good. No, it's
But,
okay to talk about what you like and don't like.
Like, I love Blow on Shore. I do not like Janthir Sentry. We'll get into that later. But yeah, I do think the story is solid, but I also don't think that they have fully learned the lesson of don't bite off more than you can chew in a year-long expansion.
I think it also has to play with what Runer said earlier about just MMOs being different lately and how people consume it. The devs are probably trying, like, you gotta think, they obviously did hire a bunch of new devs or whatever, but we also have a lot of the older devs that have been around since Guild Wars 1 who are slowly either fading out or retiring or whatever. But, like, at some point, I just feel like it's starting to get like they can't even keep up with the new generational gamers of into like just go go go. So it's like because this is not the only MMO that has questionable story going on. I'm sure you played Dawn Trail or whatever recently. That was all it's hit and miss with the whole stuff going on with that. Same with WoW. WoW, a lot of people are liking WoW story currently. But I also have some friends who are just like, same thing. Like they just kind of like to them it wasn't important, so it's rough because I feel like I agree with you. Like I just feel like they took a little more than they could chew to maybe appease the player base that's like go go go, like let's get going.
Okay.
Wouldn't you say they did the opposite of the go 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 though, with all of the because like the story in Janthir was, I would say, significantly more in depth than Soda was. Soda was more read all the books and then do events to fill up the bar. And then Janthir was quite a bit more story.
To me, I feel like Enter is fine, but from what she's stating, it sounds like there wasn't like it's too much. Like not certain parts was too much. Like
I mean,
for them to buy. Yeah.
Story into a 1 year expansion, and I get that.
They're going.
And I just think it's because of what you said earlier. Like it's the way consumers consume stuff now, and like player-based play. Like, we've obviously are the weirdos, as you said. We played the game differently than most. An average person would just probably just get on, do their thing, bust their shit, and then call it a day and be like, yeah, it was a great story, or nah, it was not, whatever. But we kind of like look at all the little bits and the corners and the nooks and the crannies, and yeah, so.
Yeah, I just think that with the lowland Coden, the hype and existing lore between the Mersat and the Eye of Janthir and the Tyrian Alliance, they're going to try and do all of these story points along with the Wizard's Tower, and some things are going to be left behind, and it's seemingly like all of the lore that made this place so desirable for the fan base is what's going to get left behind.
All right.
If anyone wants to say anything, go ahead.
Yeah, Runer and Embry, what are you guys' thoughts of Janthir Wilds?
Is this just based on story or on maps or everything?
Overall.
Overall, Embry, go ahead.
Well, I kind of said it earlier. I love the story. It definitely made me cry. I'm excited for more of it. I have really big issues with the second map for hearts. I just feel like there's not enough events, or the events are bugged, so it feels like it's so dreading to do those hearts. Other than that, I really enjoy it. Like, I think it's really pretty. I love that you have Leviathan in the second map as well. So.
You good?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, overall, the story's been really good. I don't really have too many complaints there. I do like the Titans as a threat. You almost forget about, like Jeannie said, like, you almost forget the Eye of Janthir is actually a pretty big portion of this.
Yeah.
Because there's no real mention of it. There is one part in the story that really kind of is annoying, and it's when you get a vote on using, I think it's the Scepter of Ord.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go on, tell me, because I'm probably on the same page as you. That whole
you
section.
shouldn't give me the choice if my choice isn't.
Yeah.
Because like it makes it seem like we were sitting there and I'm like, oh damn, like what do we pick?
Yeah, like this isn't.
I wanted to use it.
Yeah.
Like,
Easy choice. Use the scepter.
But like it doesn't matter what you pick because like same end with that one, which was a little bit disappointing because it's like you give a big choice and you actually have to talk to people and you have to think about it and you have to build up to it for that choice to come back to whatever the main storyline progresses, right?
Yeah.
Like it would have been better off for them to just all argue amongst themselves and then just pick amongst themselves, kind of thing.
No,
it's like, why am I even here?
No,
like, my choice doesn't matter.
The way they should have done that specific story mode is they should have had you vote first, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
So
and then you just lose.
Yeah, and then no matter what, you do get outvoted to not use the scepter. That way, it doesn't feel like okay, because it's like what the total tally is 6-4 when it comes to your choice. So you know it's like no matter what I choose, nothing's gonna change. I can make it 7-3. I can make it 7-4. I can make it 7-5 or 7-6 or whatever it is. But if they would have had you go first, and like it always ends with everyone not everyone kind of like voting the same way they did, would have made that story position a lot better.
Yeah, overall, that's just a minor complaint about the story. It just felt a little weird. It kind of felt like shoehorned in there, where you're trying to give control to the player, but you're not really giving them any control, right? It's like like either way, you're ending up at the same thing there. Whereas there could have been slight different, like maybe characters treat you different or something like that depending on your vote, but there's no difference unfortunately outside of that. Overall the maps are good. I do worry that Lowland Shores will become another Grothmar where people don't really go there. It's a very pretty map. There's a lot of stuff to do, a lot of fun things to do. But we've seen it with Grothmar where it's not heavily populated because there isn't that pull to the map. There's no meta, there's no like there's Bog Mommy, that's fine, it's a fun fight, but again, there's no unique pull to that map. Whereas the second map obviously has the map meta, which will continue keeping that map alive versus Lowland Shores. The story, like I said, overall very good. There's a lot of new achievements, which is fun. The new ranger pet, we got a war claw. I wasn't expecting that one actually, but I like it. I'm still hoping on getting the juvenile shrine guardian at some point, but you know, dreams will be dreams.
Yeah.
The so the cryptist was kind of like every map you fought the same enemies, which is always the cryptist there. But like, luckily with this one, like the enemy, like what you fight is different, kind of like wherever you go, which feels a little bit better for that. It is cool to get a go to like Janthir for sure. But yeah, overall the story's good. The gameplay loop is fun for the new meta. I do like the new meta. It's quite challenging. You usually finish with like minute and a half to 2 minutes left max kind of thing. Like people need to actually work together. The rewards are pretty cool. Like there's the new, like all the new skins and stuff like that. It was a little weird that there was no achievement for the weapon collection like there was in Soda. Like in Soda, like you collect the shattered weapons, you get an achievement point. You collect all the other ones, you get an achievement point. But like if you collect all of the new weapon skins for Janthir, you don't get anything. It's just kind of there. Like the what is the one, Blood Moon?
Yeah.
It's a cool set. I like it, but yeah, there's a reward to that one. Spears overall, I really like spears. Janthir Wild did really cool by adding spears to every class. I've tried several of them, and I like a lot of them for their effects and their look and stuff like that. It seems like Warrior Spear got a lot better since the beta. Haven't really had a chance to try it too much.
Okay.
I'm over here participating in Ket's fashion meta, and another thought popped in my head about things that they haven't explained yet, and is gonna fall behind. The pre-order skin was the Whispering Serpents, and then we also got the Jade Maw tentacles. Why are those here?
Yeah.
What is this about serpents when we're focusing on Titans and the Jade Maw?
Yeah, that's I
We thought
kind
they
of was
looked
questioning
cool.
that too. I wonder if it was just like a little tie of like little just touch of a little bit of everything in the game, but it also kind of throws me off when it's like, well, why is this part of my pre-order?
Yeah, you're trying to sell me on pre-order stuff to get me in the mood for Janthir, and you've thrown me like
I would love the little like war claw gathering thingies or something. They can like do a little sniff or something. Yeah, or Titansy.
But yeah, I mean, like the pre-order didn't match up with that for sure.
Yeah, I was kind of confused about the weapon skins too. I was gonna bring that up as another thing because, it just that kind of felt like more like EOD or something. I don't know, something outside of this expansion. I was like, okay, water stuff.
I will say though that versatile table for the homestead is really nice.
Oh, it's really nice, and that's kind of on theme for getting you ready for Janthir.
Yeah.
But the other tie-ins were not great so far.
I just like my D&D and pool table. I'll take it.
As far as the stories go, like Jeannie said, like they kind of have two main stories right now, which is like the Alliance plus us in Janthir with the Titans. But they're gonna obviously have to branch in a third, which is gonna be the Eye of Janthir, because that's gonna become part of the story at some point. I do like the Titans though. They seem, like I said, they seem like they're just an evil enemy for the sake of being an evil enemy. They want to kill things. And I like that as an enemy. You don't need to have traumatic backstory. We don't need another F arc where we don't need to feel bad for them. We can just fight them. But yeah, like Em was saying, the hearts in the second map are a little bit more of a drag. When the game first launched, they were giving out the hearts that completed the event. Them, what are they called?
The renowned hearts or whatever.
Yeah, they were giving those out like crazy, and now it's like, man, there's two events that give them, and one adventure, and you can get like 3 a day, and it's like that's a little too slow. But
yeah, especially
I
if
mean,
there's nothing else right now, just those two maps, unfortunately. Like
yeah,
after you do it, like of course, yeah, there's content, but then depending on your speed, but if you're gonna slow that down, yeah, then you might need to add that into maybe some more events or something.
Now, obviously, with that said, there's still some legendaries coming out for this game because the new maps, they don't have as much of a pull once you finish the achievements kind of thing and you finish all that kind of stuff. Besides that one skin, until the legendary spear and the legendary back piece come out. But the homesteading, I think, was a really good addition, and so far it seems really fun. There's a lot to that already. I wish I hope they let me, or let people who come into the homestead gather if they have the mastery, just like auto gather kind of thing, because it sucks for Em because she's running around gathering everything. And I'm like, oh, I've been done for a few minutes now. I just auto gather, right? So I'm hoping they add that. But yeah, like a lot of the new additions are good. And I hope that they continue on with the theme and they go back and, like, say, add a bee jade bot or something like that to fit the Janthir theme or something like
yeah,
that.
bee ones would be good too. Yeah.
Yeah, let my Jedbots float around my home instance.
I mean,
But
what's
yeah.
everyone's thought on the home instance? You guys like it? Have you put work into it, or have you emptied out the place like I did?
The home? Oh, mine's got nothing so far, but we're supposed to decorate for like Halloween, I think. Em wanted to.
Ooh, yeah, do it. I want to tour people places. If anyone does seasonal stuff, I want to see it. So for sure, do.
And another thing that I'll throw in here real quick with the homesteads is I don't know, I'm pretty sure all of you guys know, but I do want to announce it for other people who don't know. There is I don't know if it's hidden, but there is a developer achievement. If you have an ANET employee visit your homestead, you get a achievement called Cozy Creator. I think it's programmed so long as the person is in an ANET guild, but they don't have to be repping it, you will get the achievement. I know Jeannie over here, like 2 weeks ago, or 2 or 3 weeks ago, was sitting there DMing me in whispers, going, "I'm fighting you for this," and her LFG had, "Will pay for Dev to join my homestead."
Did it work? Did the LFG work?
No, but I did talk with Roy last night while we were doing convergences, and I asked him if I could bribe him into my homestead. And I honestly said the bribe is, one, a joke for legal reasons, and two, could be included a donation to his extra life fund when that happens. And the reason I say that is because when I did the fractal one, the way I bribed a net employee into fractals was like I donated like $50 to their extra life.
I mean, that's the way to go.
I was lucky. I've ran into two devs running through Janthir Century. It's like, hey, just typed in map chat going, hey, offering full homestead, anybody who wants to join. And two devs popped up at different times going, yeah, I'll come in and join. And they didn't have their tags popped.
I'm just too nervous to ask.
Yeah, I have a whole bunch of them on my friends list, but I'm
Also,
like,
are we allowed to say like our favorite character or not?
Hey, sure.
I love Sorrow. She was beautiful. She was amazing. Whoever did her voice acting was great.
Ooh,
Sorrow.
Wandering Sorrow?
Yeah.
isn't that
Okay.
waiting? Isn't that waiting sorrow?
Yeah.
One of the bears.
What about Pokey?
She was one of the main wizards that originally,
Fair bro.
made the wizard stuff. But I
I-
just love her voice actor.
I love her final line to Scarn before we leave. Well, the towers always like me best.
Yep. She's my second. Dagda is my first. Then her. So, yeah, I love Summer. I love how all the Coden are. My favorite also like event was the mushroom event and just tripping on drugs and your character's just like, why am I even doing this? Like you don't even know. They did really well in some of the events. I like the details that they put in, like the voice acting and interaction, whatever, for all of that. That was pretty good. I do have questions like Jeannie though, where it's just like certain things that are there. Why are they there? I don't know. Maybe at some I think in that note or letter they said that some point we come back around to Wizard's Tower stuff. So maybe at some point we'll have a tie-in to all of it. But sometimes they're kind of bad with their tie-in. Like,
I'm kind of upset that they didn't give Gladium and Urchik a bit.
yeah.
Like, they gave Zeisel his whole, like, heist quest line to get right where we are, and Urchik and Gladium got nothing.
Yeah, let's come back. Come on, Gladium again.
Yeah, Gladium's good. Before I like got off too track, Jeannie, do you want to tell them about the one box stuff? Because I know a lot. Even though you've said it like several times, you should bring it up again, just in case anyone does watch back on this later, and maybe they don't know about the whole glyph stuff that you were telling me, the containers and you know what I'm talking about, like the Black Lion glyph stuff for the new.
Oh,
tools?
where?
Yeah.
Oh, the boxes where you.
Yeah, that you said that you can get a better. Yeah.
It would be better if I could show this like on my alt account. But if you had the tools pre-ordered, or I don't know if you can get them now, but like if you have those tools, you can go to the Black Lion merchant. Silabus is showing it. It's in the seashell in Lion's Arch. You can trade those weapons, or not the weapons, the gathering tools, for the same gathering tool, but it comes with a free glyph that you can then make into the glyph of volatility, which is the most profitable one for your home instance.
And if we like money, we like profits.
Like if you look up glyph of volatility on Black Lion, I think it's between 650 and 700 gold per glyph on the trading post.
So that's good. That's a good find.
Yeah.
Is there any
Oh, and
characters
it's
that
gone
you
up
guys
since
like?
I last looked at it. It's
Oh,
solidly 700 gold
Oof. Well, good thing
per
I changed my
glyph,
thing.
and that's 3 glyphs. And then you put them in your box, and then whatever character you're gathering on, can just get it. You don't have to use glyph per character.
Yeah, so I showed it on screen. It's inside it's in the bank on the left hand side. If you're looking at the bank, you trade in your tools, get the exact same tool back, but you get a you get a selectable box. I just also showed with the new ones, the Infinite Holy Barrage Gathering tools. There is a glyph, Blackline glyph selection container. That's essentially what you get back to choose the glyph of volatility.
Yeah. Very nice, very nice. I like that a lot. I do have a question though for all you guys. What was your favorite characters for this story? Like, do you have a favorite person, enemy, like in general?
Oh,
Rena and
geez.
Em can go first if you want.
Who's your favorite?
I have no idea. I don't know.
I thought you were a big Pokey fan.
Yeah. I don't know if that's my favorite though.
That's fair.
It's pretty good. I
He's-
love that.
Bear Brown. You know, he's a young bear who's just trying to learn, doing stupid stuff as usual.
I do like that. Like just the turnaround of the story when he found out who Sorrow really was and stuff. So it was good that he didn't like hate her for it. So because she seemed like a second, basically, mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was her role in that one.
Yeah.
The more I think about it, the more Pokey looks like Anet's apology for what they did to Bram. Because if you think about it, they're similar. When they were both kids, they lost their mom. Pokey took the sensible build character route, and Brom took the angsty route.
True. This is true.
Pokey
Honestly.
probably also didn't see his mom get impaled into a freaking tree.
Yeah,
Right in
there's
front
a
of his
little bit
eyes.
different.
So your response to seeing somebody see your mom impaled by a tree is to go off and try and burn the world down?
Wouldn't you?
There's some
No.
trauma there. That's you know, he's got to work through it.
Yeah,
He's
it's not
listening to
healthy to
Linkin
go.
Park in his room right now.
Jeannie, who is your favorite Janthir Wilds character?
I don't know if I have a favorite character from the story, so I'll use a cop-out answer. I like the Warclaw.
Warclaw is amazing.
Or great addition.
I love the scratch and sniff stuff. Like when I'm bringing back about mounts, it's like yes, like this game like brings uniqueness to the mounts for sure, and them adding that stuff is kind of nice. It makes me use my Warclaw more, besides World v World in a sense.
So I'm gonna do a cop out answer as well. I like the Warclaw.
We're going for Greer and Decima. Come on. They are here to destroy the world. They don't care. They got an ego. They're strong. I like them. They're a good villain, being just a villain. I like them as the bad guys.
Well, I actually have a thing I want to run by you guys at the end before we get out of here, but we'll continue on as we are. So let's move on to the juicy topic. Why do you not like Janthir Sentry?
Okay, so
I'll mute myself.
let me pull up my notes. So
Someone came prepared. Wow.
I wrote down just a few. It's not terrible.
12-page document. I got just a few notes. A few pages of notes.
These are just the initial ones.
I know I'd be blabbering on. No, thank you.
So Janthir as a whole, on the release week, felt like we were the beta testers for the whole map.
No, I agree.
It didn't feel like it had been put through its QA paces with the bugged events, the quests, the objects, the meta. Like, none of it felt tested.
It does throw me off some because they like kept pushing through Soto this whole we want to be more lax with our workers, like we don't want to like crunch time, and that's great, but like
then push the cycle out to a year and a half, not every year.
Like I don't know, or be honest and just say this is gonna be rough at the beginning. You guys are basically the test rats. Like I don't know.
So then in Janthir Sentry, you start in the southeast corner, we'll say. And for that whole like section of map, that whole southeast, we'll call it fourth of the map, you've got how many different help the Coden gather and forage plants and animal meat quests.
You don't like pomegranates?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that it was repetitive and copy-paste content where they could have had different events. Like, they added the one little one to defend the garden off to the side, and even that one was bugged. And then the one with defending against the Titans was bugged.
I was gonna say I actually have it right now because I'm tracking it because I was having issues streaming it. The getting the crew together. The one for Miss Jeeves needs aerial fighter who's not afraid for a little blood. There's like 2 spots you can get that part. One, the bear on one side. I don't know how to really say where exactly, but it's like by where the jumping frog event is. Like that's where the other one is. That one was still at least bugged last week for me. And like not working properly. Like everyone was standing around like it wasn't doing its job. But the other one that counts as well for that one, at least was luckily still working. So there's definitely some bugs, or like things not still working in the game for that area.
And then the cardinal directions around the part to the north in the Echoing Hills. And then same with the Reaping Stones, the Sanguine Crater, and then in the Cathedral of Blood. They all have the clear Bloodstone Elementals, or clear Elementals event. And it's another 7 or 8 copy and paste events. And it feels like the same thing they did with what was it, Skywatch Archipelago, where the map is big, but because they've copied and pasted, or there's lots of empty space, it feels bigger than the map is.
Yeah.
And then there were, I think they fixed the crab, but there is one event that happens during the meta that's not part of the meta and is required for a collection. So you're therefore every 2 hours you're either convince your whole map to not do the meta and do this one event in the middle of the Sanguine Crater that is defend the Coden against ghosts or whatever, or do the meta. And it feels like that event should not have been placed there and hidden there, because they are like, ooh, meta, ooh, Titans, and that one just felt like a slap in the face.
Mhm.
The northwest section, the Sulphurous Springs, it's Kill Titans the area. What events happen up there that isn't killing Titans?
I think there's only the one adventure otherwise, the gliding one.
Right, but like, that's an adventure, that's not an event. Like, in Lowland Shore, we're collecting honey, we're...
Like, with the next update, I'm wondering if they're going to utilize that space more, because we don't get a new map next update. We're sticking with these two.
I'm hoping, but like, right now, Lowland Shore feels like diversity and heterogeneity. And Janthir Century feels like a big area that they put in beautiful landscape and then didn't have time to flesh out what events were going to be in the area, so they just copy and pasted code just to build up the area.
See, I misunderstood your dislike of it. I thought you disliked the map, and I was like, man, the map's so cool. Like, there's the big crater.
No, the
Map's amazing.
The map is beautiful.
I do agree that there's a lot of repetitive metas, like pick pomegranates, pick carrots, pick more pomegranates.
Yeah.
And those are kind of placed sporadically around for no reason. There's not a lot of rhyme or reason to those.
Like, the addition of the Leviathan was nice, but...
Yeah, Levy was a good app choice there.
It feels like too little variety in Century compared to Lowland.
Yeah, they have a lot of the same ones. Like, if you look at the first heart alone, 4 of the events you do, I think, are animal, meat, and vegetables, which does make sense if you look at it lore-wise, because the whole purpose of that map is it's supposed to be very inhabitable. So like, a lot of it is you gathering food for, the base camp kind of thing, and you gathering supplies. So I get that part, lore-wise to a degree, but it is a little too many of them.
But then you also cross the river, and they've got 2 or 3 more of those same events.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. Is they maybe put too many of them. If they would have made 2, like the one right by the entrance and maybe the one just slightly north of base camp, and had it where it kind of matches into that.
And then they could have very easily had. They have the defend against the Titans. They have the clearing out the camp, but they could have had another one coming from the southeast corner and having invading waves of a boga or something.
Do they have one that's not in right now because it's broken, where it's right with, I haven't been able to get the achievement on it. It's right by the starting camp, in the wetlands there. They're supposed to be defending the Codens there, but it was super bugged on launch, and I haven't even seen it spawn since then.
That's the defending the Titans.
Oh, I haven't had a chance to do that one. It never spawned when we're there, and we were spending a lot of time.
Because it spawns near the meta.
Oh, it only spawns near the meta. Okay, that's the one you were talking about.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about. You mentioned the crab, and that one's broken for me. I've never been able to gather the chest. The chest just lets me.
So the Sanguine Crater and the Defend the Camp are. Sanguine Crater happens during the meta. I don't know when they place the Defend against the Titans. And then the one with the garden, that one comes up just after the meta.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure the crab spawns once the timer starts.
Yeah, that. So I had to be on a map that was committed to just doing these events and forsaking the meta when these events should be going on not during the meta. Be like, you're trying to fight C1, and then they're like, oh, hey, we need to push another lane. Let's go do that while Su1 is going.
Yeah,
Who's
that's
going
fair.
to do that?
See, I thought your dislike was the layout or something like that, and like I was like, I like the map. It's really cool because it's super dark and again uninhabitable. I thought you disliked that aspect of it, but yeah,
No.
I do agree with some of the
I dislike the map. Not how it looks or something, but like
that's fair.
the overall like gameplay loop that they tried to introduce. Like, this is the 2 maps they've given us for the next 3 months, and it's supposed to last a whole year, and they're the 2 biggest ones, and one of them's significantly better than the other one.
I do wonder if they have more plans because, like I said, they changed their model. Because last time we got 2 starting maps, and then the next update was a third of a map. Next update was a third of a map. Next update was a third of a map. And I'm wondering if this time, if they're maybe gonna, with the second update, redo some of the Sentry kind of stuff, and maybe these are just placeholders for now. Obviously, that's completely could not happen at all. But because yeah, like I agree, Sulphurous Springs, like the northern corner there, is so underutilized. Like I've only gone there to do story basically, and I think an achievements. But other than that, there's really not a purpose because it doesn't affiliate with the heart at all. So there's no reason to spend time there.
So, if I can jump in real quick, Runer, quick correction on what you're saying. So, launch gave us a Land Shore and Janthir Wild. Update 1 will continue the story but give no update on a map. Update 2 gives map 3. Update 3 gives map 4.
Is there going to be are they doing map 4 as they mean like map 2, 3, and 0.5 kind of thing?
No, I think they already stated that they are not doing half maps anymore because of how many people complained with Internios.
I misunderstood the announcement because I thought we were getting half map, second half map, and that's how they're doing it.
That was what they originally announced, but during the Janthir launch, Ruby released an announcement saying that they have decided to divide the map into 2 separate maps, and they're both going to be about the size of Lake Dork.
Yeah, so I just posted the roadmap in the Discord chat or the Twitch chat.
About the size of which map, Genie?
Lake Doric.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'd be okay with that. Lake Doric's a fun map. I enjoy that one. There's quite a bit going on.
Right, but my problem with the size of Lake Doric is, again, the Eye of Janthir is going to get shafted.
So I'll jump in right here.
Eye of Janthir part though, because you can still have a ton of story in a smaller map. You don't necessarily need a huge map to have good story.
So I'm going to jump in here real quick because I was going to leave this till later, but you guys keep on bringing up the Eye of Janthir. What if they make the Eye of Janthir essentially like a Watch the Watcher from Marvel? Is something that starts watching our escapades as we go further into the story, and at some point in the future, we can use it as a quote-unquote callback machine to what we did in the past.
Well, they did mention that the new Convergence is going to be that setup, but it's going to be the Coden storytelling, I believe they said. And so the Convergence will be, because we won't be obviously going to Naos again for a Convergence. So I think it was meant to be like almost you're doing a fight in the past. But then if you do look at the going into the past, and we already have fractals because you kind of already do that with like Urban Battleground and stuff like that.
Well, no. What I mean is it is a like the scrying pool in Eye of the North. It becomes that kind of an item that we get at some point later on to where we can like view cutscenes if we wanted to, or it gives a rundown of what happened instead of going and actually playing the content later. If you just want to do, hey, quick down and dirty, what happened in Janthir Wilds? Go to the Eye of Janthir, see what it was, continue on with what we were doing.
Oh, so you don't think the Eye of Janthir is going to be a big baddie or something like that, or connected to anything bad?
No, that's
for that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's going to become something like a Watch the Watcher, where it just observes and we can recall it when we need to see lore bits.
That would feel like a cop-out to me.
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
as something dangerous and scary. Because the Eye of Janthir right now is mysterious, which makes it kind of scary because you don't know what it is.
But like, then why was it chosen in Guild Wars 1? Why was it hovering over each of the raid bosses in Wing 4? Like, why, if you're trying to record all of the events, why does it pick and choose which events it's recording?
So with that, it could have been kowtowed to what the Mersat wanted, but now that the Mersat are essentially all but gone, it could be trying to find a new purpose, and that's why it's watching it. It's
Right,
looking.
but the
Go ahead.
What? No, I was gonna say the Mersat were gone from Guild Wars 1, not Guild Wars 2. Why, except for Mabon, but like,
And Lazarus.
and Lazarus. But like, why wasn't it recording all of our core story, our Living World Season 1, our Living World Season 2?
They could retcon it to where it was there, and we just didn't see it. Because we know it can teleport at will. With it, it would feel like a cop out, but it would explain stuff with it, and with sorry.
I think that if they're going to do that, they would have to go back and add the Eye of Janthir into each story instance, just for us naysayers to be like, "Oh, it wasn't there," and that's just you trying to retcon something, and then they'll be like, "Oh yeah, go back and play it," and then it kind of just shows up now. But I think they would have to add it before they could just make it.
I still feel like it'd have to be more threatening than just a VCR player kind of thing, right? Like,
well,
because like, why does everybody want it if it's just literally,
Well, so that could be another thing that they could do with everybody wanting it, is because it is a VCR player. It has all the knowledge of whenever the Mersat first spawned it and tied it to their race up till the Mersat were dead. Now it's trying to find who it's going to follow now, and it's slowly moving to us because we are the movers and shakers of the world currently. So it wants to follow us to keep the recording going for future generations and stuff like that.
I can see where that's going, and I guess I would be okay with that. I could also see them doing, like, if you remember during Living World Season 1 rehash, where they were giving it to us in the story form again, they had that Mist Traveler.
Yeah.
That then gave us Lion's Pride.
Yeah.
I could see them using the Eye of Janthir as it wasn't made on Tyria, it was made somewhere else in the Mist, and the Eye, because we killed it in Living World Season 3, and now we've got a new one. So I could see them being like, the factory is in the Mist, and then X-Pac 6 is suddenly, we have to go into the Mist to find out what the hell the Eye of Janthir is.
Yeah, I guess they don't necessarily have to explain the Eye of Janthir in this expansion. That's one of the downfalls of a year, like a short time, is the stories have to be much more focused. So it could be like the very end of it just gives us a glimpse of the Eye of Janthir, and then the next expansion is really going to cover it more. But yeah, I mean that is the downfall of 1 year expansions, is you do lose a bit more of the storytelling in that because you do have to push it down. But yeah, I mean, there's been no talk of it or anything really about it in this expansion as of yet, I think, besides the one glimpse of it.
Okay. Kit, it's been a minute. Do you have anything you want to stack onto this?
No, I agree. The maps are beautiful. The events are a little repetitive for sure, because I've noticed that, especially on the second map with the whole grabbing fruits and meats and stuff. There's some events that have some uniqueness to them, that so it doesn't. I kind of one of those things where it's like I don't stick on the map long enough to focus on those as much, but I do agree that it feels half done or wasted. Like maybe put some other events in, maybe mobs. I don't know. Maybe they'll change it later on. Maybe it's just like what they had to do. Maybe they were crunching, even though they want to sit there and say they aren't crunching. I don't know. It's kind of rough, but I agree with uh, what's overall being said on it. So I don't have much to say on it. It just yeah, I can see it. I can feel it when playing. Hopefully in the future, next couple of stuff that comes out, we'll see maybe something. I don't know. Maybe their cards will be played out better. I do also agree with the whole choices, like that part for the story. What Runa was talking about with the whole like use the scepter or not. I was kind of disappointed. I think if they would have done what you said, where like maybe had you vote first, then it would make sense to say, well, your vote don't really matter or whatever at the end. But here, it kind of like, oh, it's hopeful, like, oh, this kind of like beginning of Guild Wars 2, where like you pick the path of being, I don't know, a royal family member or the poor, like, and then that you would get like a separate kind of like a little bit of a story on the side of that, and maybe it, and I guess it would probably be hard because they would have to do, but is it like 3 choices or 2 choices in total? You would have to do an instance or answers towards that one, and then on top of that, I guess it would make no sense if like they're maybe saving the rune of scepter for or of scepter, sorry, for the end. Like I don't know. And then Eye of Janthir, I think that I feel like they're gonna treat it right now as just like a breadcrumb kind of mob or a story bit where it's like drop some breadcrumbs here, drop some breadcrumbs there, keep them in the mysterious part, add them in a little bit in the story, because the Eye Genter was also a little bit brought up in the, I think it's like the one of the achievements I just finished the collection where it's like the white mantles, like the horrors of whatever was going on with the white mantle in that area too. It was brought up a little bit by I think Saul or one of the writers for Saul. So I don't think like I don't know. That one's kind of hard because I see your point and it would be kind of cool, but I also it would be a cop that would be just a meh meh. You made this mysterious thing seem so interesting since Guild Wars 1 even, and now that no. So I don't know, unfortunately, but that's all right. I'm on that. I don't have much else to say because like I'm still kicking through achievements because I'm kind of like I don't like to rush through stuff. I'll help my mom through whatever, enjoy the stuff with her, but I take my time with it. Plus I got sick, like hella sick, for a whole freaking month.
Oh
Knocked
yeah.
my voice out for 2 weeks. Couldn't really enjoy. I was coughing every time I sat up. I was like spitting crap. It was not a fun time for a month. I don't know what the hell I got, but I'm at least knock on wood clear of COVID. But like it just something hit me. I have a weak immune system, so I didn't really get to enjoy all the bugs and glyphs of like what Jeannie was talking about of seeing that stuff because it probably got either patched out or fixed or it's not fixed yet and I just haven't ran into it. Besides the one I just spoke of with the getting the crew together. So to me, I'm still busting away stuff in a sense. So I'm just kind of chilling and cruising and enjoying the content for what it is.
Okay. And I don't think we've heard from.
And I agree
Oh,
with exploring Kit. Like when I did my um Janthir launch stream, I meant to go for 10 hours, and I only made it to 7 because I learned later I had COVID streaming
oof.
it.
Yeah, see.
And I did the same thing with like Soto and End of Dragons. I spent 10 hours on the first map of each.
Oh.
And then like End of Dragons, I did 10 hours on Seitung, 10 hours in New Cunning, 10 hours in Echavald, 10 hours in Dragon's Den.
All right. We haven't heard from Emery in a little while. What are her thoughts on the recent conversation?
I don't really have anything other than I'm just excited to see, um, you know, obviously bugs fixed, like those events, because we haven't experienced some of those events and everything like that. I'm excited to see where the story goes. Kind of like Werner mentioned. I really hope that they keep it as the Titans are just evil. Like I do love the little cryptids; they're adorable.
The little chonky one.
Yeah, but I don't think we need to be friends with them. Just let them be an enemy.
Death and destruction can be a goal. You know, doesn't have to be your goal, but it can definitely be theirs.
Yeah, so one thing I kind of, it's like, that whole demon, like, I agree, like, why did we need to have, like, I don't know, happy, chill demon, like, sometimes people can just have their sides about them, just let them be, and, like, not everyone has to hold hands and skip into the rainbow together, you know, like...
Yeah. It does, your end goal doesn't have to be like, well, you weren't friends with me, so I'm bad now.
Like, you're not playing my sandbox. Like,
so I feel like they definitely need to address that and just I know Final Fantasy 14, he wasn't super popular as a villain, but I think his name was Xenos. He just wanted to fight somebody strong. He literally killed people because he was like, I want to find somebody stronger than me.
exactly. I love that story. A lot of people didn't like care for him at the end, but I love that they built him up enough that he literally stuck to his guns of just like, I just want to fight you 1v1, bro. Like that's all it is. And then you're just like, yeah.
Kill him. That's all he wants. He
Yeah.
wants you to win.
Yeah.
If you win, you win. That's the end. That's his goal, and that's his
Yep.
goal.
I love that.
But
And
like,
I love that they're being like, no, we're not bringing him back just because some people like, and that's fine. Like, I'm sad that he's not coming back, but I like the fact, like you said, it ended there. Period. Like, there wasn't like extra sparkle to that.
and like with the story, I hope they keep making like impactful decisions because in Soto, they introduce you to this one little cryptid dude who's really friendly, and he's like, "Oh, hey, cool," and then they just kill him like 2 seconds later, and it's like, it was sad, sure, but you don't really get to know. But then like in Iceberg Saga, Braum makes this great big sacrifice, and then all of a sudden he just wakes up with a headache afterwards, and it's like, no, he should have died. Like as much as I'm on the side of like I do like Braum as a character, he should have died because his sacrifice meant nothing. He lost a weekend, you know.
Yeah.
Like he forgot a weekend and he woke up with a headache. That's called, you know, he has a problem and he's drinking his Rothamar again. But like if he would have died, it would have felt impactful.
Yeah, but that's kind of like Ryland. Yeah. Yep.
Like Ryland died, and that's how it should have been. And that means that also Braum should have died as well with him to balance that out because there's no balance out. But like right now, it is kind of weird watching the story progress now because in End of Dragons, at the end of End of Dragons, there's this whole thing about Tiny being really sick. And like
I feel like that's gonna be one of their cards in hands to hold for the right moment. If things start flopping, they'll just be like, "Okay, she's dying," and you're just like, "Oh, okay." Pause everything.
You know that could be a good.
But like, how long were we in Soto? What's the time frame for Soto? Is
a year.
A year.
And nothing happened with Tiny in a year. Nobody checked in on us in a year. Nobody called our device in a year, right? Like, there was a lot of holes with that. They gave us this communication device at the beginning of it. Nobody called to say, "Hey, Commander, how you doing? You doing okay?"
Yeah, the only time she does call is when you are telling her that, you know, we're basically talk to Zoja real quick because she's surprised. But like you said, yeah, the whole time, not a peep. That girl's nosy as hell, at least in all the other story parts.
like she's supposedly in June's factory manor, whatever, like working on Jade Tech.
Yeah.
We haven't heard anything from that other than getting the Jade bots to the capital cities.
There is also some lore that deals with Tiny that while working there, the Jade tech that she's implemented into her armor has been helping with her condition, though it is still there.
Like, I wonder when we're gonna get all of the Jade tech we were promised out of Cantha to the rest of the world, zip lines through Heart of Thorns.
Amazing fun. That'd bring another whole hero thing.
I could see them taking us back to Cantha to do like Kaineng, Turtle Highlands, and Kirin Peak. As like we need to be searching the old history of Cantha to help cure Tiny's current condition.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There was a bunch of stories that are on the cut, like on the floor of the room there, but like there's like, I would love to go find what's his name, Bush.
Mhm.
Would
Oh
love
my
to find
god,
it.
yes.
I would love an expansion where we go to the myth,
I
maybe
missed
distract
it.
the eye Janthir and Blitz is there.
Mhm.
And but again, if you bring him back, his sacrifice means nothing again because like
No, exactly.
he's
Yeah.
basically a robot right now, so he lost a few years in robot years. What does that equal, right?
Have you tried turning him off and on again?
Basically what we're gonna find is like press his power button repeatedly and hope for the best. But I don't. There's like you spend a year in Soto, and it felt like none of the other characters noticed that you were gone, but they would, right? Because you're the commander. You're technically the huge part of that. Oh, there's a controversial topic. How do you guys like being called Wayfinder versus Commander?
I don't like it.
I don't. To me, I'm just like I don't know. It's like giving too many hats on my head. Just name me one thing and call it that. Like, I don't know. I like Commander honestly, but I'll ride the Wayfinder, I guess.
Can I get the title of Toxic Raid Leader?
It shifts the story from you being the commander of everybody to now you are just here to help. Basically,
True.
Well,
Exactly.
technically, you haven't been the commander for a very long time. It's just a title for life. Even Almora says that when you sit there, it's like, I'm not dealing with the pack no fucking more, and you leave. But I will quote Duke Nukem to kind of give my answer whether I like being called Wayfinder Commander. I'm here to kick ass and chew bubblegum, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
So it doesn't affect you, is what you're saying.
Does
You
not
don't care.
affect me. I'm here to ruffle stomp.
So I have a question here.
What's up?
We have the Commander tag. We have the Catmander tag. Are we gonna get a Wayfinder tag?
When are we gonna get a dog commander tag?
Dog
First of all,
commander.
that should be first in priority. Why is it always cats in this damn game? At least in this new expansion, there's a lot more dogs everywhere. But I want a dog tag. It needs a floppy ears or something.
At
The dog
least-
tag's above your head. It tells you your name.
At least it's not a freaking llama. Because I don't know what it is about the gaming industry, but for like 10 years ago, llamas were fucking everywhere.
I know it's a big
Keep
thing.
Fortnite.
Now they've wisened up in 14 and they've given us alpacas.
Yeah, the cousins.
I would like some more variants of command, like a good way to get people to either, I don't know, burn some gold or go work towards some event to get other tags or something. That would be kind of cool, in my opinion. And maybe some different mentor shape app like little things, or keep it an apple because obviously it has some tiebacks to Tibble and all the stuff or whatever. But just different shape commander tags would be cool. Just overall, just anything. Just
And I'm also gonna say it. For one of these Junes, they need to recognize Pride and give us the Pride tags.
So, yeah, I do agree with that. I'm going to jump in right here. Do you guys think we've covered Janthir Wilds well enough? Do you guys have any lingering thoughts or anything like that? Because I got two things I want to bring up before we get out of here.
I think we're good.
Yeah,
Are you gonna ask
I
this
got to
secret
shit all over Sentry.
Super secret question is going to be number 2. Number 1 is, as gamers all here playing Janthir Wilds, I'm pretty sure we all have ideas of how the story is going to go. I want to bounce a story idea off of you guys. So, with the Titans being confirmed a new thing, with the Titans being confirmed the big baddies and them being evil and all that stuff, and them collecting energy from the Bloodstone, what do you guys think if we head back down to the Ring of Fire Island, and it's the Titans trying to open up the door of Kamali with the Bloodstone that's down there to unlock all the Titans from the Foundry of Failed Creations that's most likely still there after Abaddon's death?
Okay, sorry. I didn't get to hear the question because partner was talking to me real quick. What did you ask? Sorry.
So what do you think about the Titans heading down to the Ring of Fire Islands and trying to force open the door of Kamali, which has the Foundry of Failed Creation where all the Titans were created, on the other side of it, that is closed by a Bloodstone?
I thought that Bloodstone was destroyed.
No, we killed the Lich on top of it in Guild Wars 1 and resealed it. That Bloodstone is still there as far as we know.
You might want to check a wiki. They might have freaking shot that off.
I have checked the wiki like 3 times. Because
Oh,
I've bounced
is
this
it
off,
really
I've
so?
bounced this off a bunch of other people too.
I
I think that would.
yeah, it's rough.
It's a cool idea. I agree
Yeah.
with it. It lines up with a lot of the cool ideas I had for Soto's ending. And I think it's just too damn cool and too lore driven.
I was gonna say, on top of that, it just seems like it's rough to tie back anything from, like, it seems like, yes, they are hitting back the Guild Wars 1 hits here and there, but I think like they're trying to move on to the future of seeing like how things have evolved since then. So I don't know, it'd be kind of rough. Like, yeah, I agree. Like, lore wise, oh my god, it'd probably be amazing and interesting. But at the same point, it would probably confuse players who probably never touched Guild Wars 1 or take the time to look at the wiki store, you know, like, or read the, like, any of that stuff. So they probably wouldn't really understand why was that there in the first place, unless I guess you put some books around or whatever on the island and have some hints towards it or something. But I don't know. I guess I'm in the middle of it. Like, I could see it being kind of cool or something, some kind of situation, but at the same time, I don't know. Maybe a waste of space, honestly. What
Cool
do you
idea,
guys think?
not gonna happen.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, probably not.
Okay.
I don't imagine we'd be going back to the Ring of Fire.
I wish they would make books again, like actual novels again. Like, that'd be a good way to fill in some of this stuff that we are questioning and asking, and why, when, where, how. I didn't really like it because Blizzard kind of tied it to their way of like gutting some lore and be like, well, you have to pay for this to get this lore or whatever. The way they did the one books or whatever before the release of Guild Wars 2 order, those were pretty good. They were like, you know, this is what happened before all this, you know, went down. And like, it doesn't have to be like super like, this is only lore that you're getting from here, blah blah. Like, I don't know. It's like, for me, like, man, there's so much that they could be doing with these. Like, the books can grow. I feel like they can grow some books because some of those writers in there, they cook. They can cook if they can be like left alone. Because if you've talked to them in person, I'm sure Jeannie has. There's some of them that are very like, they love the game. They love the series. They love the lore behind Guild Wars 2. And then there's some, unfortunately, that don't know a whole lot yet because they're still getting into the company.
Okay.
And it, as you bring up Ghosts of Ascalon, I still wish we could go visit the crypts below.
That would be amazing. That's where it's like there's some stuff that could be put in the game that's not really like locked away pay per se, but be like, oh well, you've seen it in the book or read it in the book, whatever, that you would know that this particular area was, yeah, like you can go visit there. So that would be awesome.
All right. I just wanted to bounce that off you guys because I talked with some other friends and they've kind of sit there, looked, and went, "That's a cool idea," but you guys get the same answers. But with that, let's move on to the super secret question before we get the hell out of here because I've taken a lot of your guys' time for the day. So, super secret question of the stream, and I will give my answer first. It does not have to go to Guild Wars 2 unless you guys make it. I told all these to you guys in DMs and stuff like that. What game or franchise has your favorite OST?
What's OST?
Original soundtrack.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
so while you guys do the brain juices real quick, I'll give mine. My favorite OST has to come from the .hack GU games.
Knew it.
Granted, I think this is like the first time I've ever really mentioned .hack in like any grand like talking point on this in this show. But no, I love the soundtrack for .hack GU. I love the avatar fights because all the avatar fights kind of have a throwback to each other with the chimes in the background when you fight each one. So it kind of ties them all both lore-wise together, but also music-wise together. And the music design is just so freaking great in those games. I love them. Unfortunately, it is a cult classic game. I wouldn't even say it's a cult classic. It's not. No one plays those fucking things. But I really do wish that we'd get more .hack games so I can listen to more of the great music.
Dot
Kit,
needs
let's
to come
go to you.
back. I think that's a franchise that they need to reboot in some sense. Not a gacha game, please. Not a phone game, please.
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah.
Like an actual new, or like how they're kind of remastering a lot of the old ones, like the original Dot Hack series, since you can't really get it, or I don't think you can play it anywhere either.
No, you gotta have a
Bullshit!
PS2
I have my
emulate it.
PS2 in my room. I can play it.
Okay, well, okay, if you're not a genie, but yeah,
I
those
have one
ones you
too.
get, they need to completely, I think, remaster with like if you saw how they did Persona 3 kind of
Yeah.
thing, right? Like bring it back with modern graphics kind of thing.
Well, the great thing is there is a Twitter channel called .hack Revival that is trying to get enough signatures on a petition to send to Bandai Namco to get them to at least let CC Corp do that, because CC Corp, who is the developers for the game, wants to make more, and they make a lot of money because they do the Naruto fighting games, the Boruto fighting games, and a few others. So like they're not hurting for cash, but because Bandai Namco, the publishers, will not give them the go ahead, they cannot start it. And even the president of CC Corp was like, guys, we want to fucking do it. Bamco is the ones that are telling us we can't. So yell at them. But yeah, let's go to Kit. What's your OST?
Okay, I have two actually, and I have to say both because they both just are amazing. I love Final Fantasy VIII, and I also love Legends of Zelda Majora's Mask. Sound like the music, like all for both of them. Like those are my music's beautiful on all ways, like in everything. So me, that's all I have for me. I can't explain everything because I'm probably too old to some people to understand what Final Fantasy VIII is, or maybe Majora's Mask. I don't know. Maybe some people have some games in them, but this is beautiful. It's beautiful stuff.
All right, Jeannie.
I'm gonna agree with you on Dot Hack, but that's not gonna be my answer here. But I will say I did buy the CD of the Dot Hack soundtrack back in the day.
Nice.
I love those. So I still have that somewhere. But I'm going to go with Kit. I'm going to say that I have two. The Ace Combat series.
Oh, that's a good one too. God damn.
And Final Fantasy 12.
I didn't really care for the 12 stuff, but the music wasn't bad. It wasn't like it was crap. So
12 didn't click with me the first time I played it.
maybe that's why.
Because
maybe you just play through it again.
I didn't understand the license board system. And then my best friend, who I've now been friends with for 21 years, sat me down on the PS2 and looked over my file, and he was like, "Why the hell is Bosch your black mage?"
That sounds
and I was like, "I don't know."
That sounds like
And
me
then-
with playing 10 in the Sphere Grid. I hate 10 because of that fucking Sphere Grid.
Okay, the Spear Grid got better in the remaster. Go play that one.
No.
But then, like, he sat me down, I restarted my file, I started redoing it, and then it clicked with me about the time when you get the second, what do they call them? Espers.
Mhm.
That's when the game clicked for me, and it was just, honestly, the best Final Fantasy single-player experience. Final Fantasy 12.
I'm definitely gonna have to play. I want to at some point play through some that I've already played, and then just play through the ones I haven't. Just like go through the whole series at some point. Even if they're old and outdated and a little clunky for the older ones from what I saw in the Steam comments on the store review for the older ones, I just I don't know. I want to check out the stories. Want to play it for myself. And listen to the music as it was then.
All right.
So I agree.
Runer, Embry, I seen some chin wagging over there. What do you guys got?
Persona.
Yeah, Persona 5's OST is, I think,
Persona.
unbeatable for pretty much any of them. The OST on that one is such top tier. Like everything in that game,
Oh, so
all of the music is amazing.
I do have another one though. Shadowbringers for Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah, I was gonna say Final Fantasy 14 as a whole because, but then I was like, that's too. I don't know. Yeah,
The
but yeah.
soundtrack is amazing at 14. If you go to any of the, like if you do the Alexander raids,
Mhm.
like if you go back to Heaven's Ward there,
Every time I do the Alexander raids,
I turn that shit up.
all I think is, wow, this sounds like Splatoon music.
I love it. I love
It's
that one.
Okay, but yeah, the Persona soundtrack is great. I just have it in playlists because it's so good. It's honestly like
I love it.
it doesn't feel like a video game soundtrack. It feels like it's just so good.
I would say also Baldur's Gate 3 is a pretty good soundtrack too. I'm do like what we're gonna like. I actually on my Spotify is like probably 90% actual just game music over like normal like music that we would normally listen to. You know what I mean? Like rock or what else. I'm just like, nah, give me that gamer music. It's better. It's relaxing. Sometimes it can be tense, but it's like just more suitable to the ear, I guess, to me.
So I will agree that what's it called? Persona 5 has amazing music, because even in my day to day, I've never played through Persona 5. I do not own Persona 5, like the base version or the base game.
Mhm.
I get that, like the overworld, like do that the just the overworld, like you just run around the town song,
Mhm.
stuck in my head from time to time because I watched a buddy play it. It's like I've
Yeah,
never played it, but I get that one stuck in my head every once in a while.
I honestly don't know how they like. I haven't played Persona 3 yet, the Reloaded. I want to, but like I'm curious to see if they top the music in that one as well, or and then they have a new one coming out called Metaphor, which hoping they have bangers in that one too.
Okay,
But yeah,
sorry,
there's a lot of good songs in that one.
I gotta agree with Chewy Gummies real quick. Monster Hunter music, yes. When it kicks in right and you're sitting there smacking a monster, yes, please.
I can't wait for the next Monster Hunter.
God, yes. Oh, I need that in my veins now.
Yeah.
But
I
with
just started playing Monster Hunter World.
oh, it,
I tried it back when it was on, what was it, PS4 originally, and I couldn't get into it, and now I'm trying it again.
so
I'm trying.
if you are playing on PC, Genie, let me know. I have a fully spec hunting horn. I will come and make sure you do not die.
What's the fun in that? You got to struggle.
Silabus,
You take away the struggle
I
in
am
the beginning, it's
struggling
not
right
rewarding.
now, trying to figure out how to remap my controls on controller.
Again, if you're playing PC, let me know. I will drop everything to come play it.
I am on PC, yes, but like the controller controls cannot be remapped in the base game, and I need to go find a mod to do it because the controls are so different from every other action RPG that it's just unplayable.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I had to get a new controller for my Tekken because my old controller, no matter what, it's just it would not. So I got a new one that lets me like flip a switch to like basically put the buttons to be the whatever it is for the game, directional.
Okay, well, but this is just an open invitation. When Wilds comes out, we will be doing a feature fragment on it because oh my god, I love Monster Hunter. If any of you guys get it and you want a hunting horn player to come and join you, let me know.
What's next month's feature fragment gonna be about?
God, I don't know yet. I forgot.
Oh no.
I'm dumb.
Seasonal
Dot hack.
Dot hack.
Okay, I would not mind doing that, but that would not be very topical. But I'm
Persona
down
5.
for it. I don't know enough about Persona 5 to do that one.
Well, you won't. We can just use Runer and M.
Did you just do retro games? Did you see all the remakes they're getting out? Soul Reaver is getting a remake. Lunar 1 and 2 is getting a remake.
If they,
Guild Wars 1.
if they ever make a Jack and Daxter remaster, I'm buying that in a heartbeat.
Well,
Did you like Jack and Daxter 2? Or was it Sly Cooper? And was it Sly Cooper fan of it?
Both. My dad played both.
Oh.
No, sadly, Naughty Dog is sitting there stroking off Uncharted and then The Last of Us too much to make even a Jack and Daxter remaster on Steam. So we get three The Last of Us Part 1s remastered on the PS5, and we don't get nothing for Jack and Daxter. But with that, I have kept you guys for 3 hours, and I appreciate you guys so much for hanging out for the entire time. It was amazing to have you guys on here for sure. But I think we should do sign-offs. So, hi, I've been Silabus. You guys know me because you guys are here watching my channel. So, if you ever need to ask me more questions, feel free to ask there. Get.
I'm Kit the Traveler. I stream on Twitch Monday through Thursday, sometimes weekends. Right now it's kind of morning shift because my computer and everything going on. But hopefully I'll be nighttime because I enjoy night over day. I stream Guild Wars 2. I've been trying to put a little bit of variation in between because of what we kind of spoke of today, of just like how much content there is and the speed of how I do my content. I would like to expand beyond Guild Wars 2, but I do enjoy Guild Wars 2, so it's my main game, while everything else is like a side game in between. So every once in a while, you'll probably see me play Dead by Daylight or Once Human and stuff like that. I am a little bit 18. I'm like 18 plus because I cuss a lot. Unfortunately, I'm sorry. And yeah, and you can find me on, I guess, X, Twitter, whatever, at Kit the Traveler, and Bluesky, Kit the Traveler, and I don't know, and YouTube. I guess I need to figure something out better with that. But yeah, I'm here. I'm there. I'm everywhere. What about
Yeah.
you?
So plug everything, guys. Literally plug it. If you want to plug everything. Go for it.
Yeah. Are you guys? Wait. And are you guys gonna do your challenge again this year for your Halloween? You could plug that in too if you do.
We are, unfortunately, yeah, we're opening 15,000 bags each this year, though.
Hell yeah! Let's fucking go. Okay. Go ahead. Do
Yeah.
your
Well,
outros and then make sure you add that in there.
Okay, so I guess our intro. We are a married couple. We do stream together. There's always two of us on stream. As you can see, M's little character right beside me there.
I am a real person.
She is. You can see her hand. Maybe not. You can't see it. But there's two of us. We also have a dog. You can come give the dog a treat. We stream 3 days a week on Twitch.
What the dog doing?
We try to post YouTube videos when we can. We also have a website, which is project.com, which is dedicated to Guild Wars 2 guides and infographics. If you guys have seen infographics for Guild Wars 2, probably 90% chance they're ours. There's not a lot of them going around otherwise, I think. But we do a lot of Guild Wars 2 content. That's what we focus on. We don't really stream anything else besides that. But yeah, there's usually two of us. We do a lot of stupid, silly challenges. Like this weekend, M has to eat spicy jelly beans.
Yes.
We plan to do a whole bunch of Halloween stuff. We run squads to teach people convergent CMs on our stream, things like that.
You guys teleport me to Canada right now. I want to eat spicy jelly beans.
I don't think you do. They're Carolina Reaper. They're the spicy bean.
I want to try those. I want to try those and those spicy chips, the challenge chips, so bad.
It's gonna be about time.
I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna be there and watching for sure.
But, yeah, we have a dog. Like dogs, your sets.
Kit, remind me about spiciness once we're off stream. I got a video I can send you.
Oh god, I'm scared. Okay.
With the spicy stuff.
Okay, keep going, Ritter. Sorry.
M is here. If she wants to say hello to you.
M, sign off too. You're part of the team.
The Guild Wars lore as much as I am, so like a lot of the lore questions she's DMing me. She's like, I don't know what to say, and I'm like, it's okay.
She's always very helpful too, because usually Renner's trying to like set up groups and lead when I stop by, and she's always, anytime you stop by their stream, she's always answering questions. They never really leave the chat hanging, so just their community is very active, helpful. Their Discord's pretty cool. They do a bunch of runs, or if you ask if you need something, if they're obviously not doing something on their list of things, they're pretty good at helping people. So just but cool.
I always do the joke. I'm just here to look pretty.
you sit there to be cute, and you're the conversation.
Oh, thank you.
And
sorry if we do apologize if anybody in here heard an echo from our audio. We do sit side by side, so there is two mics that do pick it up. It is hard to adjust if we can't hear what's coming out, because obviously we adjust it for ourselves because we can predict for that, but we can't do that, unfortunately, in a Discord call.
No, you're fine. It's okay. I'm just glad you were able to come again, and I know it was probably hard to like conversate still because of the whole thing or whatever, and then I know Miss M can kind of get a little shy.
Yeah.
So it's okay. I'm just happy you guys were here, able to get some stuff out, and there's always future podcasts that you might be able to join us on. So
yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, it was kind of fun.
Now, Jeannie, do you want to sign up? Well, Heroine, do you want to sign up?
last but not least,
I was waiting for Renner to be done. I'm Jeannie Jenny also known as HeroineDark on the line. Yeah, it was great being here. I do a lot of map breaking in game. That's kind of how we got in here.
You also make some Blish add-ons, don't you? As well?
I do make Blish add-ons. I've been working, accidentally working with Darren's because he messaged me, and we've been getting the chest locations in Janthir and Janthir Sentry all mapped out. The way I started making Blish icons was, or not icons, packs, was because I really enjoy Super Adventure Box. And I made a full tutorial to go from the 5 coins that ANET gives you to a farmable experience that you only need to put in about an hour a day to get that up to a profitable festival for you. If you ever want to learn Super Adventure Box, come find me. I will help you. I will carry you.
100%. Genie's there.
All right. Any socials you want to throw out there, Jeannie?
Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Discord, all HeroineDark. Twitch is HeroineDark 7734. There's a story behind that, I promise.
And to go on to the whole Blish Hut thing, I've actually been talking with you in the back. You showed me how to start working on my own Blish Hut thing, which I have not done anything with. I'll probably do it here soon. I was thinking of doing a new Silver Wastes chest location pack, but I'll see if I ever actually finish that one up or not.
Did you want me to keep working on the Cryptus and Titan riff?
Oh, please, by all means, you know what the fuck you're doing. You have fun with that, and please take my name off it.
Okay, fine. I'll do that right now. Get my code.
Rather than that, guys, I'm Silabus. Find me at Silabus R2 on most things these days. Everything will be in the video below. I'm going to make sure every single link that everyone talked about will be in the YouTube description. It's been in Twitch chat about once every hour, and it has been scrolling underneath our names at the same time. Again, thank you everybody for coming and hanging out. It's been an absolute blast having everybody here. I love the hand clap sound. That was great. I love the what dog doing sound that Jeannie has.
Yeah, I did that, and because I can see Runer's full camera, not the crop version on stream, I just watched Noctis enter the room and look for Jean. It was so great.
Smacked him because of that.
Yeah,
He walked up here and just like smacked her, and he's like, "Give me a treat." I heard the sound. Just treat back.
All right, well, we will get out of here so you guys can enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Again, thank you one more time. For everybody who was here in chat, hopefully you guys enjoyed the flow of the podcast. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, by all means. My game just crashed. Oh, it kicked me to character select. I didn't move. But to everybody who is watching, thank you. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, please whisper me on Discord. If you guys are watching this live, if you guys are watching this on YouTube, please leave a comment down below and I will gladly go through and answer them. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns for any of the guests that we've had today while we're on the YouTube podcast or on the YouTube VOD, do let me know. I will gladly get them to the respectful person you are asking the questions to. Other than that, we're going to get out of here, guys. Everyone say bye. We're going to kick it to the end screen.
Snap me a picture so I can have a better quality. Sorry. Bye, everyone. Snap me a picture.
Get off your skyscape, Runer. Come back here.
Come back, Runer. I need a better picture of that.
But again, thank you, everybody. We're going to kick it to the end screen. We're going to play one more song. It should be about 3 minutes long, then we'll get the hell out of here. Other than that, again, have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you guys next month whenever we do the feature fragment. I will post details as soon as I know it. Later.